Ah. 1 sec. Hello. Hello. What? No. Okay. Okay. How to log into Tic Tac. Come on. We're live! Okay. Hello, everybody. Hello! I don't know if you can hear me. I don't know if you can see me. I hope you can hear me and see me. Hello. Hello. Hello, Abby! Howdy ho. Howdy ho, Abby. Howdy ho, Melon. Let me get this up here. And let me do that. So, let me post this real quick, and then we can really get started with this stuff. You know, like the kids do. That's my bad. Wait, let me see if the mic's working. Yes, it is. Mahi, 12 a.m. in Australia. Dude, what's up, Australia? Everybody loves Australia. Wait, let me put this up here. Let me put this up here. And look at that. I can also make the chat a little bigger. Okay. Well, now let me post it on Instagram, and then we can really kick this thing off. So, hey, how's it going? I don't know about you guys, but in the Chicagoland area where I happen to reside, it's snowing. It's snowing right now in Chicagoland, and that's kind of messed up. I love all the different slowpokes you have at your disposal, Abby. Do that. Live now. Let me actually retake that photo. Sorry, guys. I'm also a little late because I'm kind of the worst. Live now. Sorry, and then we'll get right into it. Just on your channel a week ago, spent my hour of my life watching your videos. Dude, let's freaking go. Very honored to hear that. Sorry, ranking the top 100 Pokemon ever. Now I add the link. www.twitch.tv/JARVtopia. Okay. I should have a roll of duct tape around here somewhere. Okay, don't do that. Don't do that. Alright, guys, we got the green screen going today, too. Isn't that exciting? Isn't that exciting? I think I fixed the mic. The mic used to be, like, kind of drowned out and sounded a little odd, but now it's not going to do that. At least that's the goal. At least that is the goal. Alright, so. Now, you might be wondering, JARV, what the heck's going on? What are you even doing here? And you know what? I love that question. And every question starts and ends, well, I guess it starts and begins with a story. Let me do that. Let me do that. And then let me do that. Shout out MyHigh for joining and watching our videos. And just, you know, enjoy the vibe. being here. Okay, anyways, so every story starts with a story. So how did this come about? JARV ranking the top 100 Pokemon ever to exist ever. Well, let me tell you. So, my cousins and brother were traveling in Singapore. And while they're in Singapore, they know there's Pokemon shops, there's things to do, and they saw Pokemon shop. And they're like, you know what, Joe, my government, you know, Joe likes Pokemon cards. And they like Pokemon too. So they went in there, got themselves some Pokemon cards. Alright? My brother wanted to get me a full art just to come back and bring me as a little bit of a souvenir. Alright? So when they're there, I get, there's a certain amount of full arts there that they had to pick options. So when they're there, I get a text from my cousin separate from my brother. They say, hey, do you like Pinsir? And then I said, I like Pinsir. I don't even know if it's in my top 100 though. And then I started to get to thinking, what if I made a top 100 Pokemon list? So that is what we're doing today. We're going to go one by one and kind of explain why and how each Pokemon came to be so liked by JARV. And as you can see here, Pinsir, get out of my face. That's exactly what I said. Spoiler alert. You'll find out. Pinsir didn't make the cut. Oh, a little controversy here right off the bat. I know. I know, but it gets crazier. So, I guess without further ado, we do. And as you can see here, 1 through 10, 11 through 25, 26 through 40, and goes on and on. So we tiered these off in a way to kind of group them together. So we're going to start with number 100, and that is Cloyster. Cloyster's at number 100. Why is that? Well, okay, get a look at Cloyster. Number 1. Number 2, Cloyster was always... They've always been so special and important to me. Mostly from my early days of Wi-Fi battling. You give them a little Shell Smash, Ice Shard, Rock Blast, and Icicle Spear skill link. Alright, boom, right off the bat. Me and my cousin in X and Y used to play multi-battles with no legends. Alright? So I had a couple Pokemon that I would bring that were staples to JARV, a young JARV, and I would bring them to each battle. Later in the list, you'll find out which other Pokemon there are. But aside from that, Cloyster's just good. It's classic. It's dual typing. It's easy to evolve, and it's funny looking. If you can get a look here, we got a lot of different Cloyster acting like a goofball. Look at him. Look at Cloyster acting like a goofball. All right, and that's not a lot of things that other people can do. So Cloyster, you were in the 100th spot. Whoa, Slowbro? Slowbro cousin Cloyster, 100? Exactly. Exactly. I didn't even realize that. And, spoiler alert, Slowbro's going to be number 1. Cloyster, Slowbro, they got a good relationship to go off with each other. So, at number 99, and the nice thing about this list is that I can kind of edit it while I go and really see the physical Pokemon up against each other. But, at number 99, and honestly a fact that I found to be true, as I was going through this more and more, I really like Gen 2. And because I like Gen 2, I like Ursaring. Okay? I couldn't find any games on the DU ladder, so I took my team to DOU and ended up winning around 20-ish games. Melon, you're actually incredible. And so is Ursaring. Alright? Ursaring is good because it's great. I would always catch it and name it Mama Bear, because it's usually a mother, and look at the circle on its stomach. Don't really have any good reasoning for Ursaring to be here other than its design, and that's really all you need. The creation of Ursaluna actually made me adore Ursaring more. Not only does it evolve from, Teddiursa, who doesn't like Teddiursa, but Ursaring is Ursaring. Strong, empathetic, and motherly. Also, all of the art and all the sprites of an early Ursaring is just everything we need. Look at this guy. The 3D models aren't the best, but look at this guy. Alright. So that's number 99. Number 98, you might be thinking, where the heck did this come from? Because we're going all the way down. And honestly, when you're ranking your top 100 Pokemon, you kind of realize, what are the prerequisites that I'm going off of to find my 100th Pokemon? And that is something that I found pretty quickly along. I would rank Pokemon up against each other. Hello, buddy. Hello, buddy. I would rank Pokemon up against each other, and then really think about if this Pokemon didn't exist, how would that make me feel? Where did they go? Aha. If this Pokemon didn't exist against the other ones, how would that really make me feel? And that's how I got to the truth. I did not think it would take this long to drag all these later gen Pokemon up. Turtonator! Turtonator is incredible. Look at it. I mean, I don't really think that many people really look at it, because you kind of forget about its existence. But, like, it's a funny guy acting funny. A dragon turtle, that's dope. And then you make it a fire type that can breathe fire out of its snout. Awesome. Awesome. This one, honestly, purely aesthetical. I'm going to be honest with you. Now, a little bit of a spoiler alert. I don't know if you guys have played Legend ZA, but this inclusion is not there because of ZA, but it's definitely benefited from ZA. And that, my friends and people of the party, otherwise known as the party people, that is Scrafty. Now, what do I like about Scrafty? I like the fact that Scrafty's wearing clothes, okay? That's very funny to me right off the bat. And they got a hood. And, you know, just their whole aesthetic of being, like, you know, bad boy punk man. Who doesn't like that? Who does not like that? And the shell's explosive. I agree, Cosmic Latte. But take a look at Scrafty and tell me that you don't like him, alright? Scrafty evolves from Scraggy, a guy that's holding up their pants because they can't have their pants hold up by themselves. And that by itself gets me fired up. But then they evolve into something better. They're still holding up their pants, but now they got a nonchalant attitude about the whole thing. They got the Mohawk. They got good stats. Straight up just good stats, and they're a good Pokemon to always have at your disposal. Okay? But what really put Scrafty at this top 100, spoiler alert, Mega Scrafty. Alright? And, you know, the game's been out for a while now, so I don't think this is that much of a spoiler, but, like, take a look. Take a look at this guy. Whoa! See? See? They got a hood up. They got their hood up. And that is so cool. So cool. And that's why Scrafty, officially, you're at number 97. Fun fact, Squirty is wearing the hood. Oh, there you go. Well, there you go. Hello, Asley. How the heck are you? Welcome to the Tic Tac Tic Tac show. Oh, and Scott's here. We're so back. We are actually so back. I feel like I might have to be going a little faster. So, another funny thing about all this is that when you're ranking these Pokemon, you really don't think about, like, how much you like the pseudo-legendaries. And I found these truths to be self-evident, number one. And number two, everybody likes Garchomp. And even if you don't like Garchomp, you gotta respect how cool Garchomp is. Like, I know that I liked Garchomp. I didn't know that I really liked Garchomp. And honestly, this was one of the last Pokemon I ranked, obviously, because I went from 1 to 100. And it was just, I needed to know what they were about and who they were up against. And then I found out, you know, it is what it is. Garchomp's dope. The Mega doesn't help, but a Land Shark that goes fast and is super strong, who the heck doesn't love that? Truly, who the heck doesn't love that? And, you know, pseudo-legendaries are just great. Gen 4, fantastic. And I feel like Garchomp is the perfect representation of Gen 4 and everything that it has to offer. Next. Who doesn't like Garchomp? Even Gibble is great. You know what? That's what I'm saying too. Now, for the next inclusion, we have Cubchoo. And you know what the thing I love about Cubchoo is? You know, I don't really know. I know that I like Cubchoo, but I didn't know that I loved Cubchoo. And when I put, like I said, when I put these up against each other in the rankings, I had Garchomp, I had a Cubchoo. Then I really sat and thought about it, and I stared at them, and I'm like, which would I be more upset with if they didn't exist? And that's Cubchoo. Now you might be thinking, JARV, that's a little ridiculous. And I agree. I also did not see that coming. Absolutely did I not see that coming at all. How much I loved Cubchoo. But, you know, I like them for the simple reasons. Adorable. They would be a great friend. They do their dishes. And they got snot coming from their nose. Now, Beartic leaves a little bit to like, but beggars can't be choosers, and Cubchoo can be themselves. Next, Ivysaur. Now, a lot of this is because when I grew up, I was given a couple plushies, and one of these plushies was Ivysaur. 1. 2. Awkward middle evolution. Great. Angsty, dorky even, and they're just, like, they got an attitude. And I respect somebody with an attitude if they back it up. And Ivysaur backs it up. Because not only are they the original one from Bulbasaur, they're number 2. And growing up number 2 your whole life has got to give you a little chink in your armor. It's got to give you a little chip on your shoulder, if you will. And then it evolves into Venusaur. But the thing that I love about Ivysaur is it has the most personality out of the 3. Bulbasaur, cute. Venusaur, strong. Or frog. Grass thing. Ivysaur, attitude. That's it. And I mained them in Smash Bros. I was a Pokemon trainer main for a little bit of time in my life. And that was the best time of my life. I get why Garchomp is there. I would agree. I would definitely agree with that. And Klefki, my goated Keyring King. You know what? Something's for everybody. And Klefki's not really for me. And I hope that we can agree to get over that. Why is Garchomp over there? Garchomp is over there because they're my 96th favorite Pokemon. Alright. After Ivysaur. This one, much like Turtonator, kind of surprised me. And as you can see, we got to go all the way down to get to this guy. Because this guy is so funny and has so much personality that when I looked at it and I really thought about it, I'm like, I didn't realize how much I loved Impidimp. Impidimp. Whatever their name is, I know that I love them because look at them. They have the best character in the world. Seriously, they're just a little Goblin Fairy goofball. And who doesn't like that? Goblin Fairy goofball. Put up against Ivysaur. What does Goblin Fairy goofball have that Ivysaur doesn't? Just a whimsical time. Ivysaur is kind of bad at not having a good time. Is it Impidimp or Impidimp? It's Impidimp. Look at him! Look at him! It looks like because of the green screen little outage right there. Looks like he's holding like a scepter. And that only makes him better. But like, look at this goofball. And he turns into Grimmsnarl. Grimmsnarl's obviously cool. But Impidimp is better. In Malaysia, we call that toil. Oh. They are toiling. Starting out of that thought. But yeah, Impidimp makes the top 100. Shockingly to me. I did not see that coming. I didn't realize how much I liked Impidimp and their goofball nature. But, you know, you live and you learn. And I learned that I love that guy. God, do I love that guy. Coming up next is Noivern, dude. If you don't like Noivern, you're lying to yourself. And honestly, that thought was a thought that crossed my mind a lot during this process. I was like, you know, for example, spoiler alert, Gengar. Gengar coming up later in this list. I never talk about how much I love Gengar, but who doesn't love Gengar? And that's the same exact thought with Noivern, okay? It's a dragon bat. It's oversized dragon bat. That's dope, no matter how you slice it. Big wings. Noibat's kind of cute. I'll give it to Noibat lovers out there. But they don't got what Noivern has. And that's everything. Okay? Oversized dragon bat. Awesome. Also, when I was doing my random Pokemon card art review series, one of my favorite videos still today of Noivern. So that's a little backstory. And XY, loved playing those games. Didn't get a Noivern because they evolved way too late. But every time I saw a Noivern, I'm like, that thing's so cool. That thing should be cooler. Hopefully Mega Noivern coming soon later in our lives. And that's why Noivern is number 92. Noivern has hard carried me through Nuzlocke's Boomburst is so strong, the only problem is the evolution level. Exactly. And, you know, the evolution level doesn't really put them at a downside in this list. It just puts them at a downside in my heart. Finishing off the first 10? Yeah, finishing off the first 10. We have somebody that also I needed a realization of how much I loved them. Shout out Bober. Because her appreciation for Shuppet made me realize my appreciation for Shuppet. Like, simple design, goofball, and just a good hang. Really just a good hang. Like, their design is so simple. Why reinvent the wheel here? You know? Cute little ghost that everybody likes. Nothing really more than you need than that. Like, good color scheme. Look at this goofball. Acting all goofy. With their tongue out. Could all be a little more like Shuppet. That's why Pokemon's so dope. I agree, we pull TCG. I agree. And guys, that is number 91. So you might be thinking, what's going on? Top 100 Pokemon, according to JARV. Shuppet's 91. I never knew that I liked Shuppet so much. But I did know, immediately when I saw them, how much I liked Basculegion. And I'm glad that they have the white sprite up here, because the red one is cool, but it's not as cool as the white one, alright? Basculegion. The lore behind Basculegion itself puts it up here for just, you know, how, like, they're such a bad boy. Or bad girl, because I think the white is actually female Basculegion. But just the design of a shark, or no, it's not a shark. Barracuda? No, well, evolves from, it's a piranha? I don't know, really. But what I do know, actually, let's look it up. Come on. Come on! Look at them. And just if you go about it, their evolution, the way they evolve, is actually absurd. Actually absurd how they evolve. They evolve through pain and recoil damage. 294, very odd number. But at number 90 is Basculegion, because they're so cool. They're so cool. And when you ride them around in Legends Arceus, it's like, this is what Pokemon was supposed to be. This is what Pokemon was supposed to be. And that's why they're number 90. Hello, Kitchen. Hello, Marcy. Welcome. Welcome. Oh, and now Kitty Spliff is following. Oh, hey, yeah, hey. That's what I'm talking about, Kitty Spliff. And that's why, at number 89, you might not believe it, but I sure do. Come here, Gigalith. Come on down, Gigalith. Gigalith, what I like about you, number one is you. You evolved from Roggenrola, so your biology is helping you a lot in this process of me enjoying you overall. But, like, really? You're a conglomerate of rocks. And that rocks. Like, I don't even think I really need to explain why I like Gigalith, honestly. It's just dope. A rock amalgamation that has feelings? Oh, that's cool. Morning, Kitty Spliff. How the heck are you? Thank you for following, too. Also, Basque means bass, as in the fish, like the Bass Pro industry. And the female Basculegion is more of a special attacker, while the male one is more of a physical attacker. The things you learn when you know. And by God, am I starting to know. The Gigalith Shiny is definitely one of the nicest out there. Dude, that is actually a fantastic point. That is actually a fantastic point. One of the best shinies to ever exist, honestly. It's just the most beautiful. It takes the perfect parts of Gigalith and makes them a little cooler. I'm colorblind, but a little bit of a light teal, maybe? I don't know. I don't know. Who knows? I don't know. Who knows? But what I do know is thank you for being here, Gigalith. Snowing here in Illinois this morning. Woo! Shout out my Chicagoland fiend. I'm also Chicagoland fiend. It is also, I'm looking at the snow outside my window right now. It's a beautiful thing. But not as beautiful as Aerodactyl. Come on down, Aerodactyl. You know, the OG fossil is incredible. They got two'd. Straight up. They got two'd. And I kind of like that they got two'd. You know, they're a bad boy. They've been encased in a fossil for hundreds of thousands of years, and all I know is that they still kept themselves. Aerodactyl back then was Aerodactyl now. Gruff. Pull it up by your bootstraps and just getting to work. And they're strong. Fast. Very fast. Mentioning my old, X and Y multi-battles with my cousin Rick. Shout out Rick. I also would bring a Mega Aerodactyl quite often. And my favorite thing about Mega Aerodactyl is that if you hold down left click and then just scroll the wheel. If I hold down left click. Okay, wait, let me see. Oh, wow. That's a lot of movement. But look at that, Kitchen. Shout out, Kitchen. Shout out, Kitchen. Yeah, that actually helps a lot. But yeah, Mega Aerodactyl is Mega Aerodactyl, which I rock with the OG fossil, and they're fast. Thank you for that, Kitchen. That's actually a great quality of life feature. I thought Aerodactyl and Charizard is the same Pokemon. Well, they're not. Why was Pokemon Go shiny different for Gigalith? I don't really know. But what I do know is Aerodactyl, the OG fossil, comes with all that you can ever ask for. Shiny Mega Scrafty is sick, the same with Shiny Impidimp. Oh. Well, I can't wait to get a Shiny Mega Scrafty. Kitchen, that was actually such a good quality of life feature that you just told me about. Alright. Now, a practice that I went through a lot when doing this list, as I've already said, is, putting Pokemon on top of one another and then saying, if this Pokemon didn't exist, would it make me sad? Come on down, Lechonk. Now, I don't know if you guys have seen the Pokemon video of, Keep It Up, Lechonk. I don't really know exactly what it's called. It's on YouTube. Pokemon Lechonk. This one. No. Cosmic Lemon is now following. Yes! Yes! I don't know the exact video that I'm thinking of. It's by the Pokemon channel. Pokemon channel. It's Keep It Up, Lechonk. I don't know. But they released a video of Lechonk trying their best and being themselves. It might be that. I don't really know. But Lechonk is the cutest thing to ever exist, ever. Are you kidding me? Look at this goofball. There's nothing to not like about Lechonk. And putting it up against Aerodactyl, unfortunately, I think I'd be more upset if Aerodactyl lacked existence. Or no. I think I'd be more upset if Lechonk lacked existence than Aerodactyl. I would love to hug him. I would love if they were mine. But not everything's yours in this godforsaken world. No, it's not. Absolutely no, it's not. I had a Lechonk. And the first legendary, well, I guess the last legendary on this list, really, because we're going 1 to 100. The last legendary to be included in JARV's top 100. Mr. Deoxys. Come on down. Come on down, Mr. Deoxys. You got different things about you that nobody else does. First, you can get all tubular, alright? Then you can get all athletic. And then you can get emotionally intelligent with your defense form. Nothing is as cool as Deoxys. Except for the 85 Pokemon above it. And that's a great time to bring up another fossil, another classic, another staple of my heart. And honestly, I liked Aurorus a lot because I feel like a lot of people didn't like Aurorus. Everybody went for Tyrantrum. And don't get me wrong, Albert the Tyrantrum is absolutely fantastic. They got a lot going for them. They're a big T-Rex. Who doesn't like that? But Aurorus has? But what Aurorus has is being... I refuse to use the AI definition. An Amargorosaurus. This one. Can't believe I'm using Reddit instead of... Yeah, but you get it. Look at them. It's the bones of Aurorus. And Aurorus is awesome. And really, there's nothing more to say about it. Aurorus, thank you for being in my life. Thank you for being a cool fossil. The color scheme of Aurorus is fantastic. Ice and rock, you don't really get that much. Alright. Saron, 007, morning JARV. Just woke up to those beautiful snowfall. Sid! Snow has also fallen in my neck of the woods, too. And that's cool. Do you think Lechonk and Bidoof are comparable? In a lot of ways, yes. In a lot of ways, Bidoof and Lechonk are two sides of the same coin. But growing up, I always had a problem with thinking, you know, like, this might just be the hater, pessimist in me, but, like, I don't want to like something that everybody particularly likes. And Bidoof got a little overshadowed, honestly. Bidoof got a little too much love. And am I saying they don't deserve it? Absolutely not. Of course they deserve it. But Lechonk deserves it more. Lechonk more so slept on and a lot more personality than Bidoof. Sorry. Go cry to your mama if you disagree. Why is Cloister not at the very top? That is a great point. Papa Jarv, hello! What about Flygon? Well, I'll tell you what. You might see them on this list soon. I don't know when soon, because this is a big list. And that's why I have to start moving faster. But shout out to you, Auroras. Shout out you. For Alligator. Shout out for Alligator, too, honestly. It's a shame. It's a shame that for Alligator doesn't get more love than they do, although they're a new shiny, or a new Mega. And I really do like the new Mega, for the record. But, at number 84, another one that came out of left field for me. Come on down, Pig. Where did you go? I misplaced Pignite. Oh, no. Oh, no. Now the Pignite... Well, now the search for Pignite starts. Whenever we find Pignite, that's going to be a good day. Oh, I really have no idea where I put Pignite. If anybody wants to help me know where I accidentally dragged Pignite. Aha! Right there. Hello, Pignite. How you doing? Pignite is so funny looking, dude. I didn't realize how much I liked their just little rotund body until I saw it really looking at the full rendering of them. Look at that goofball, dude. Absolutely look at that goofball. Come on. None of these gifs are giffing. This one is. Look at him! What is there not to like about him? Tell me. Tell me. Tell me. Don't tell me. Yeah, Pignite. Sneaky inclusion on this list. Alright? And you might be thinking, how do you like Pignite more than Deoxys? I don't know. Truly, I don't know. Can't see the gift. Oh, it's because it's... You can see it on the square stream. That vertical nonsense. I can't fit it all in, unfortunately. So yeah, Pignite. At number 84. At number 83. Zekrom. Hello, Zekrom. How are you doing? It doesn't get much cooler than you on paper. You're a black dragon with electricity. Thank you. Thank you, please come again. Please come again and thank you. First Pokemon game that I ever bought with my own JARV coin, was Pokemon Black. And I want to thank you for that, Zekrom. I'll never forget you. However, your counterpart is much higher up in this list. At number 83, or 82, my bad. Shout out everybody that watches the Nuzlocke on this channel, because if you watch Nuzlocke on this channel, there is a lot of inclusion of Pokemon that wouldn't necessarily be there if it wasn't for these Nuzlocke on the channel. As I say on the channel, Nuzlocke. Mr. Mayor, a.k.a. Licky Licky, come on down. I love you so much. I love you so much. And my love for you only grew that first time that I named you Mr. Mayor. I've never realized how much a name can make me love a Pokemon. And that happened when I caught and named Mr. Mayor. Okay? Okay. I don't know. And I don't know how. But Mr. Mayor, you've become such an integral part of my life and my happiness, it's unreal. So I just want to thank you for that. Imagine them with like a little bit of a tuxedo vest and a top hat. You're telling me they aren't an oligarch? Now, it's with a heavy heart that I introduce who's above Licky Licky. And it's Squirtle. Do I feel a little lame? Yeah. But I can't deny my love for Squirtle. My love for Squirtle's more so like, yeah, I guess I like him. And is that my fault? Kind of. Because that's my starter in Kanto. Whenever I do a Kanto run, it's Squirtle. And yeah, nothing really more to say about it. I just know that I needed Squirtle up here because they're my OG starter. And truly, I do like them more than all these other Pokemon, I guess. This was another interesting thing. I found myself, like, I don't get excited about Squirtle. Like, I get excited about Licky Licky or even Aurorus. But I know in my heart of hearts that I love Squirtle more than Aurorus. Because if Squirtle didn't exist, Blastoise wouldn't exist. And maybe JARV wouldn't have picked up Squirtle, Blastoise, that very first time around in Kanto. Maybe I would have just been a basic Charizard boy, like the rest. But no, I wasn't. And I thank you for that, Squirtle. Because without you, there's no Blastoise. And without no Blastoise, come on down, Rhyperior. Now, Rhyperior, otherwise known as Beef, in previous Nuzlocks that I've done. It's a deep quiet. It's a deep quiet love. Unlike Rhyperior. 2 quad weaknesses. Kind of sucks. Not gonna lie to you. Not gonna sugarcoat it. And their stats kind of sucks. Not gonna sugarcoat it. Actually, I'm curious to see how bad Rhyperior's stats are. But the first tin that I was ever gifted from my parents was a Rhyperior tin. And that really stuck out to me. And also, because I never really saw, I think I can actually find it. Rhyperior. This was like the first EX card I got. Right there, over my head. And you know, it doesn't really look, it's not anything too special. But I thought it was an incredible Pokemon from its existence. And it is. Really, just look at it. Never understood why they got Lightning Rod. It's kind of hard to use when you're playing the games. But beggars can't be choosers. And not everybody can have incredible special defense. And Rhyperior, you don't have incredible special defense, but you have an incredible temperament. And this is one of the few times where being Rhyhorn and Rhydon are cool and then cooler. And then it gets to Rhyperior and it's like, you know, I like Rhydon's design more, but I know Rhyperior's the coolest. Does that make sense? Probably not. And it doesn't need to make sense. So those are the first 20 Pokemon on our list. Right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. Alright, maybe. Who knows? What I do know is someone that I love more. Also, let me do this right now. Actually, no. 101 was Numel. Numel barely missed the cut, for the record. But above Rhyperior, and at number 79, is a legendary that most of us know, but everybody loves. Lunala, you are incredible. You are an incredible Pokemon, an incredible being. A big dragon moonbat? Come on. Sounds like something we can all love. Robin Wolf just subscribed. Oh, hey, yeah, hey. Look at me in Slowpoke. Okay, they left me. Shout out Robin Wolf, and shout out Lunala. Not only does Lunala combine with Necrozma later in the games to make them, just to give them like the coolest thing ever. Look at this. Look at that guy. But they're a Dragon Moonbat. Do I really need to say it again? Like, how cool does that get? Much cooler than Solgaleo, I'm gonna be honest with you, and I have nothing to hide. Hey, Robin. Do you like Lunala as much as I like Lunala? Would you say Lunala, Robin, would you say Lunala is above or below your 79th favorite Pokemon? Because that's exactly where Lunala ranks for me. And honestly, guys, I went through my list a couple times. I'm looking at my little cheat sheet here because I don't want to get sidetracked and like, which one do I like more? And like, I'm kind of confident in this list and its ranking. Like, I like Aurorus better than Deoxys. I like Pignite better than Aurorus. I like Zekrom better than Pignite, which I like better than Aurorus, which I like better than Deoxys, you know? And I went through this list like 3 or 4 times to really figure out which one I like most. And that's why you don't even really know who Lunala is. That's hilarious. Hey, Ingrid! Hey! Hey, hello, hi! Welcome back. Welcome back! Anyways, Lunala, thank you for being you. And you're about to be paired with another legendary. Another legendary that you probably don't really know that much. Robin, especially, because if you don't know Lunala, you might not know Qian Pao. But look at Qian Pao. Look at Qian Pao. Are we... come on. There's nothing really more to explain with Qian Pao other than take a friggin' look. Is that not the one of the coolest designs ever? Like, ever? Its teeth are swords. That's dope. That's actually so cool. And like, yeah, Qian Pao purely gets on here for aesthetics because I've never used this Pokemon. I've never used it even in a Wi-Fi battle. But I know from a distance, I can look at it and be like, no, that's objectively incredible. That's objectively one of the coolest things I've ever seen. And that's what I realized while making this list as well, is I really prioritize aesthetic over a lot of other things. And I think that's okay, because the cool thing about Pokemon is the Pokemon. It's not about, like, you know, the math that goes behind it. That's a good part about it. That's a really good part about it. But it's not the most important part about it. And unlike Ingrid, I could see where the dark type comes in. It's got evil intentions. So thank you for being you, Qian Pao. Once you get past, like, Gen 5, I have no idea. Oh, hello, Pierogi! Hello! Hello, hey, hi! Hello, hey, hi! It's snowing here in Chicagoland. My starter for each game is Bulbasaur for Kanto, Totodile, and Mudkip, Chimchar, Piplup, Snivy, Oshawott, Chespin, Litten, Scorbunny, Oshawott, Forgato, and Tepig. I've never picked favorite based off stats. It's purely looks. Honestly, yeah. It's just the stats back it up when you want them to back it up. And then when you don't want them to back them up, no big deal. You don't even have to talk about that. '77. An objectively cool Pokemon. I don't think many people have many negative things to say about it. Where art thou, O Romeo? I'm sorry. I meant, where art thou? I was really banking on the fact that I'd be able to find it. Toxtricity! And I'm putting the amped up version for him here, but really, it's either one. Either one of these forms is as cool as the other. It's a punk rocker! It's a punk rock lizard! Punk rock lizard! That's an electric type. This is its amped form, and then it gets low-key. It gets chill. How many Pokemon do you know can have literally 2 differentiating personality types? No, come on, tell me. Come on, seriously, tell me. He's dope. He looks like a Pokemon from the 80s. He really does. And, like, I love, like, his spiky wristbands. He really looks the part of, like, a punk Pokemon. And it's never really something that I thought I needed, but I did need it. I did need it a bunch. Scott the Snack agrees, too. As a fan of Ninjak, I highly respect this. Picking off and not the stats? Yeah. Yeah. Punk with dude attitude. Do you think he listens to Green Day? I know he listens to Green Day and Sum 41. And 76. Number 76, and the last Pokemon of this first tier, is another one that I knew I liked. I didn't know that I loved. And now I think, getting in the 70s range, I think these are all categorizing as Pokemon that I truly love. There's 1,025 Pokemon in the whole series. And, like, the top 100 is obviously my top 10% of Pokemon. But even that, I probably love 8% of my top 10%, right? And that's why Scovillain, man, do I love you. I wish you were stronger, and I wish you had better stats so that you could back up how cool you actually look. But that doesn't really matter. Alright? You're a really cool thought process, and a really cool design. And I really like how you're just there with your boy all the time. Just hanging out, chilling. And you guys are only great because of each other, not because of one. And that's a beautiful thing. That's a beautiful thing. Now coming in at the 75th spot, real ones know, and fake ones hate. But Quagsire, welcome to the fray. Now, a big part about this was deciding I like Wooper, and I like Quagsire, but I like one of them more than the other, as everybody does. And I needed to figure out which one was which. And it was Quagsire, because it doesn't get much funnier than Quag. Okay, look at him. They're so happy. I like typing a lot with :D. I like doing this. I like typing that a lot. And that's what Quagsire looks like. That's exactly who he is. That's everything he stands for. And Quagsire, thank you for being you. Thank you for being you. I'm gonna fix this a little bit. He's just a little guy. And he's an even bigger little guy of Wooper, who truly is just a little guy. And Wooper's great. Wooper's borderline fantastic. Really? Is this really? So, Quagsire, you are number 75. What jersey is that, sir? This is an Ovechkin Capitals jersey. Kind of anti what the Capital stands for at the moment, but that's neither here nor there. But yeah, very cool jersey, and I very much like Ovechkin. Very cool guy. He's just a low guy. Quagsire's doing the :3 thing with his mouth. Exactly. Cheese also seems like the type of thing that Quagsire would love. And I love that Quagsire loves cheese. Yes? No? Maybe so? What cheese would Quagsire like most? I'm going string cheese. Simple, and it's mozzarella. They like the Italian-based cheeses, but they really like this. They really like the string. They really like the string kind. And that is why number 74, coming in hot, is this lovable piece of garbage. And you might be thinking, JARV, how are you saying that? Well, because they literally are a piece of garbage. Trubbish, I need your respect in heaps. If you didn't like me, Trubbish, I would feel bad about myself. If you didn't like me, I'm doing something wrong. How could Trubbish dislike anybody? Tell me how. Tell me why. Tell me how Trubbish doesn't have a mega. Are you guys done? Are you guys done looking at perfection? I'm going to take a couple more seconds. That's my bread loaf. That's my bread loaf, kitchen. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Bread loaf, the Trubbish, I adore you. I need your respect in my life, and I hope the best for you and your family. Now, I can't really say about this. I can't really say the same about this one. At number 73. Because, while I wish the best for your family, I don't command your respect. Because I know that you give it out all willy-nilly. Lotad, you're so funny. You got a funny hat, dude. You got a funny hat. It's just so funny. Really, the start and end of that thought. They're just so doofy. The waterweed Pokemon, they're so doofy, dude. And, like, if you were to learn some of the facts that Lotad has, it just makes you love him more. Truly does. The trash cat. I've never understood how Trubbish is a cat, for the record. Going back to Trubbish for a second, I don't get how that's a cat. But I get why this guy dominates my psyche day in and day out. Look at them, dude. And honestly, some of the Lotad Pokemon cards, actually, let's just go like this. Lotad has fantastic Pokemon cards to choose from. Like, look at him. Look at him. Look at him. This made me only adore Lotad much more than I ever thought I did. Like, come on! Come on! Come on! Look at that. Are you kidding me? They're looking at everything. And now they're sad. But all in all, they still have a funny hat. And that's all that matters. That is all that matters. Coming in next. Say hello. Because they might say goodbye right when they get the chance. Where are you? Barboach. Oh, Barboach, my beloved. You funny little wiggly fish. You wiggly little funny fish. How are you so you? How are you so perfect? How do you get by with having that great of a mustache? You're not even through puberty. Look at them. Look. And I'm not supposed to love them? I'm not supposed to love them? I also didn't realize how much I love Barboach. The color scheme's actually so good. Look at that color scheme. It's freaking beautiful. It's freaking amazing. It's freaking beautiful. Gotta fry that catfish? Wow. I would not fry Barboach. I would ask them to be my therapist. At number 71, guys. You know them well. Because we all love them. A lot cooler than you remember. Or maybe just as cool as you do. Get over here, Electabuzz. Electabuzz! Electabuzz and their personality just puts them above most. And the black and yellow, oh my god. Could it get a little more cooler than that? Could this guy get cooler? Look at him. You got the frills to show the aggression. You got the teeth to show the aggression. You got the fists to show aggression. And you got the mouth to show sweet nothings. They will whisper great things to you if you ask them to. Look at them. Look at them, internalize them, and like them. That's what I'm thinking. I'm going to try to go a little faster because we're at 70 and only 50 minutes in. Now, at number 70... Oh, sweet, sweet nothings. I agree, Bill. Now, at number 70... This one is a little close to my heart. Piloswine. I adore you. You look so unconfident, and I wish that you weren't. Also, a little personal backstory. My brother, when he played through Gold and Silver, he had a Piloswine. And whenever I bring up Pokemon, he says, Piloswine bangs. Piloswine bangs. And it really is that simple. They do bang. They're just cool. Really nothing more about it. They got their hair over their eyes, over their forehead. And they're just a good hang. I would trust Piloswine with a lot of things. You guys have a similar haircut. Exactly. Honestly, exactly. A part of me has always wanted to be Piloswine. And a part of me never will. But I believe that one day I can get there. And Piloswine, you bang. Piloswine bangs. JARV, your hair almost looks alike. I mean, two of you guys said it must be true. The MVP of the TCG era. Coming in next. Coming in hot. Coming in with a little bit of attitude. At number 69, say hello to the evolution of an old friend. And that old friend, Sirfetch'd. This guy has a sword and a shield. Very topical. Very much exactly what you were looking for. But I think we just need a bigger, larger rendering of Sirfetch'd to really understand. Okay, that didn't work. To really understand how cool they are. My brother's the exact same way with Donphan. Elephants unite. Elephants are great. But so are ducks with a sword and a shield. I honestly don't think I need much explaining on this guy. If you just look at it, you'll understand how I love it. Look at him. He's aggressive. And he's the perfect upgrade from Farfetch'd. You know, I didn't think Farfetch'd necessarily needed an evolution, but I got one. And would you just look at it? It's incredible. I would pay $16 for this. I'm just saying. Totally didn't know he had an evolution. Well, boy, am I glad to introduce you to this absolutely amalgamation of amazing. From just a stick to Sword and a Shield. Exactly. Our Regal Knight. Exactly. My favorite Pokemon, Zachary Moore. Perfect time for you to come in then. Because they're at number 69. And at number 68, I also made myself laugh a lot with this list because I would look down this list. I would write down Sirfetch'd. And then right above it, I would put Rayquaza. I don't need to explain why Rayquaza's so cool. It is just, like, objectively cool. And it's one of those And it's one of those Pokemon that, like, I know that I love it. I know that I liked it. But I know other people loved it and liked it more. So I wasn't going to be the guy to, like, you know, propagate Rayquaza. But they deserve it. They really are, like, the coolest thing ever. Honestly, it makes sense why so many people that are kind of into Pokemon love Rayquaza. Because it's just, like, it's so cool. There's not one place where you see it where it's like, oh, it looks kind of lame. You know? It is. It is. Did you write this list while working? I hope you got paid for your work. I absolutely did write this while working. I typed this whole list out while I was working. And you know what my boss can do about it? Whole lot of nothing. The best... Well, it's actually not the best because it's the 67th best Pokemon. But, a little backstory. I grew up with only a Game Boy, and then I got a DS later in life. But I never got Diamond and Pearl. So I borrowed my Pearl experience from my cousin Rick. Another Rick shout out. Shout out Rick. And I played through the game as a girl named Judith. And Judith... It was Judith. But the very first full odd shiny that I ever caught playing Pokemon in Pokemon Pearl was Golbat. Not only can you smack an Eviolite on Golbat and it's actually just a good Wi-Fi threat, it's also good in Nuzlocke, it's good in playthroughs. But when I caught my first Golbat in Diamond and Pearl, I wanted to bring it up to Black and White and then X and Y. And I didn't really trust, because I kind of forget the specifics of how the Pokemon transferring worked, but I remember that you needed to send it to Black and White to get it to X and Y. It was a very complicated process, but basically I needed to send it to my cousin that had the ability to send it from Black to X and Y. So I was scared. I was going to let up my only first odds, full odds shiny to my cousin, who I trusted, but how much did I trust him? So, I proceeded to name my Golbat, my very first shiny ever, Joey Golbat. And Joey Golbat will forever stay embedded in my mind. It's so stupid. It's so funny. If my cousin stole it, I would just see him again like 4 weeks later, and then I'd bring it up with him then. But Joey Golbat was my very first shiny ever. And Joey Golbat will remain one of my favorite Pokemons ever. Thank you, Golbat. And you look so funny. Also, just a side note. I'm sure I'm not the first to show you this. Look at him. He's a psychopath. He's absolutely a psychopath with a tongue like that. And he's just a cool bat. And I love bats. Now, number 66. I'm going to keep this explanation more short because a Pokemon related to them. Little spoiler alert being the top 10. But Gulpin, dude. Gulpin's so great. Gulpin's so funny. Gulpin is exactly what everybody wants in a Pokemon. It's just doofy and it's funny looking. And really what made my love for Gulpin that much stronger is one of my few pack openings that I did on this channel. I pulled this guy. One of the best cards ever. And Gulpin, you're just a doofus. Straight up. And I love you for that. They're also a small thud, related to Big Thud. Number 65. And, fun fact, the only evolution included on this list. Another Gen 2 staple, Umbreon. Growing up, I loved the color scheme of Black and White, or Black and Yellow. You know that song, Black and Yellow by Wiz Khalifa? I thought that was so cool that I proceeded to get a Pittsburgh Pirates hat. I proceeded to name my Words with Friends account Lil Wiz, as in Wiz Khalifa. I didn't even like Wiz Khalifa. I just liked the song Black and Yellow. I walked around as a fake Pirates fan for a long portion of my life because I liked Black and Yellow so much. And that's exactly what Umbreon has. Also, there's a Pokemon anime scene where you see Umbreon. He's like on a rooftop. Umbreon. I might be making this Umbreon rooftop anime. I don't know. But the first time I saw Umbreon, I'm like, you know, that thing's objectively cool. And I did a lot of my life hating Umbreon because of a creator that I followed that would call him Dumbreon. And then I grew up and realized they're just a hater. They hated them for Wi-Fi purposes. But what I love them for is everything else. They're like the coolest thing ever. Only Evolution doesn't crack the top 25. Amazing. Licky Licky is in my top 100? Yes, but that is because I caught a Licky Licky and I named it Mr. Mayor. And from that moment on, I realized not only would they make a great mayoral candidate, but imagine them in a suit and a top hat. That's so funny. And in that Nuzlocke, I had randomized TMs, and they knew like Fire Punch. They knew Strength, which was Stab. They had a crazy moveset, and I actually love Mr. Mayor so much. That might be one of the most upset that I ever got when a Pokemon died in one of my Nuzlocks. After Umbreon, we're coming back. We're going back to the well. Because this thing's definitely going to provide us with another entry later. Trapinch. You're so cool. One of the reasons I love Trapinch so much is because of my random Pokemon card art review that I did on them. I thought I did well in that one. I thought the jokes were good and the editing was very good. And this guy, where is he? This guy should have been my #1 entry. Look how funny he is, dude. Ah! Literally, that's all he's doing. Literally, that's all he's doing. He's a psychopath. And his stats are very oddly balanced. I just found out a couple weeks ago that they have the same attack stat as Flygon. They're just so satisfying to look at. If they didn't have such sharp teeth, I feel like they'd be a really good pet. I don't know if they're a really good pet, but I think they would be a really good pet. He's like, surprise you. Exactly. From little guy to full dragon. Eventually, later in his life, he will become a full dragon. But right now, he's themselves. Themselves. Look at them. Actually, nothing really more to say other than look at them. I'm sure there's a fire Trapinch gif. Not really what I was expecting, but it's good enough. Subpar Trapinch gif, if I do say so myself. Now it's 63. We're kind of making some leeway here. We're kind of making some progress here, guys. Ooh, that coffee's hot. But not as hot as my burning love and passion for Typhlosion. Now I know what you're thinking. And stop thinking about that. He got done so dirty. He got done absolutely so dirty with that data leak, all right? He did nothing wrong. It's the freaks that wrote about him that did something wrong. He did nothing wrong. Okay? 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 He's so cool. He's not my favorite starter from Gen 2, but he's so close. He's so cool. He's got fire on his back. The Hisuian version honestly makes him a lot cooler as well. One of the few times that Hisuian version just boosts the Pokemon's likeness. Likability rating, I suppose. And they're a badger with fire coming out of their back. Do I have to explain? Should I explain? I'm not going to explain. I'm not. I'm simply not. Because you know why Typhlosion's here at number 63. Now, number 62. A Pokemon that got done so bogus with everything they stand for. Where are you, Archops? Archeops? Archops. I don't know how to pronounce their name. But I know how cool they are. He's literally the first bird Pokemon to ever exist. And that's saying a lot considering how many bird Pokemon exist. And like, come on. Absolutely come on. The coolest fossil that sucks. I wish they didn't suck. I don't know why they made him suck. They made him suck though. This thing right here, the downfall of humanity, if I'm being honest with you. It's probably for the best because look at those stats. You can't mess with those stats. The only way I can make it better is if like maybe 10 from the special attack went to defense and special defense, but that would actually be a problem. Right now, Archops gets the short end of the stick because of their ability defeatist. And honestly, they would be a lot higher if it weren't for defeatist. But based purely off of looks, this guy deserves the world and much more. They're goofy, but also like really deadly. The perfect balance. The absolute perfect balance. Flygon, Pro Dummy, the Tic Tac Tic Tac Watcher. Hello, and please, everybody welcome, Flygon! Woo! Objectively one of the coolest Pokemon ever, and now, I think starting at... Yeah, honestly, starting at number 75, these are all Pokemon that I love. Alright? And Flygon, I love you. You're so cool. Every kid looked at Flygon and thought, this is honestly one of the coolest things I've ever seen. And that really adoration and wonder for Flygon has never gone away as time has passed in my life. Still no Mega, but I think it's coming. I hope it's coming. I know that when it does come, the world will be a better place. And honestly, maybe the world's not ready for Mega Flygon. But the world is ready for each other. To bond. And I think we can all bond over some Flygon. Right? Right? Yes. Do Megas count for the Pokedex? No. They don't. So like Venusaur is Pokemon entry number 3. But they have like a different form, which is like also Pokemon entry number 3. Chafeel. So yeah, Flygon at number 61. At number 60. Almost done with this part of the tier. But at number 60, we have the most Pokemon. The absolute most Pokemon because, I don't really know why. But whenever I look at Poliwhirl, I'm like, yeah, this is what they wanted to do when they made Pokemon. They wanted to give him gloves, and they want him to make him a goofball. There's a lot of cool lore with Poliwhirl too, but my favorite part of the Poliwhirl lore is from Pokemon Adventure, where he's the starter in that comic series. Now, Pokemon Adventure is pretty violent, as you can see, like, here. And there's a picture that's right off the screen right now. I guess it's right there. They get stabbed and they bleed out. So this whole series is pretty cool. I kind of want to do a video about this, just kind of going through Pokemon Adventure and how absolutely berserk it is. But Poliwhirl is, like, the most Pokemon ever. Truly, I don't even know what I mean by that statement. But, like... I don't know. If you were to show anybody that didn't, like, all they know is Pikachu, right, and Charizard, if you were to show them this Pokemon, they'd be like, oh, that's a Pokemon. They wouldn't think anything else of it, you know? It's got Mario gloves, too. It's got Mario gloves, people. And you think I'm the weird one. Whatever. Now, the second entry of Pure Starter is Trico. Not only does this guy have a constant toothpick in when they want it, but he's such a smug little D-bag. And I mean that in the best way possible. They're a smug D-bag. They might be a punk even. But like, who cares? They got swag. And I don't like using that word, but they got swag. They got everything. Attitude, charisma. They got so much charisma, it's unreal. Honestly, Honestly, just that. I think just those two things. Trico, you're better than Poliwhirl, but you're worse than Honchkrow. What up, Tommy Mackinnon? How the heck are you? How the heck are you? Honchkrow, where art thou? Honchkrow. And, you know, this isn't a hot take that Honchkrow's so cool. Where the heck are you? Honchkrow, you are supposed to be around here. Are they hiding Honchkrow from me? They are definitely hiding Honchkrow from me. How can I not find Honchkrow? Aha, by Miss Magius, of course. You are a boss. Quite literally, you are a mafia boss. You are a bad, bad man. And boy, do I love that about you. You're so cool. You got a funny hat. You got mafia ties. Honchkrow is one of those Pokemon that you don't need to really explain why you like it so much. And I don't need to explain it. But at number 57, you know them. You might love them. But I sure know that I do. Originally thought of to be one of the 100 original 151, we have Togepi. Togepi's so cool because of the pattern that they have on them. You know what I'm saying? That eggshell pattern is iconic. I've always wanted a sweatshirt or shorts with the Togepi shell. And who doesn't love Togepi? Honestly, this is another one of those Pokemon where it's like, if you get it, you get it. How do you dislike Togepi? They're wholesome, they're adorable, and they're wholesome, and adorable. Yeah, I don't really have anything else much to say. Togepi showing up in the anime was amazing. Yeah, I think they're one of the first, like, second generation Pokemon to ever be introduced, and that's really cool. Poliwhirl's a PR manager? I could see that. Where are you putting my bat? I'm a Togepi collector, 007. Great Pokemon to pick from. Because, like, everything that Togepi has to offer, if you just Google Togepi, I don't know what that, I don't know what this is. But, look at them. They're wholesome, they're adorable, they're cute. And it's Misty's Pokemon. Get a load of that guy. Get a load of that guy. I'm using ad blocker, but I don't for YouTube, for the record. Now. The last Pokemon in this second tier. 56 through 75. So at number 56. Gliscor's not on this list, Zachary. But I'll tell you Gligar is. And they are near the top. Now, when you're writing a list, it's not many a times that you have Hydreigon. Well, no. It makes sense that I have Hydreigon over Togepi. Because it's a three-headed dragon. That's Dark and Dragon, and that's so cool. Is this the second pseudo-legendary entry only? I believe so. But there are more to come. And Hydreigon, you're so cool, man. I feel like that's kind of just what I'm saying about all of you guys at this point, but, like, you are so cool. I got nothing bad to say about you, dude. Like, you have to be perfect to look like this. You gotta be bad to be good. Good girls gone bad. Bad boys. The boys are back in town? I don't know. What can I say about this thing that makes me prove that it's top 56? Nothing? You guys already know that it's top 56. So that's the end of the second tier. At number 55, when it really starts getting juicy, if you will. Because now, we're in the top 5% of Pokemon here. Straight up, top 55. Dragalge barely missed the cut, Kitchen. I'm sorry. If you had your hopes up about Dragalge, maybe temper them a little bit. Mega Dragalge is incredible, though. Number 55. The 55th best Pokemon to ever exist, ever! Your friend's right here. But you're You're better than your friend Reshiram. You're better than Zekrom. And it took me a really long time to look at both of them and figure out who I liked more. And then I figured it out. And it was Reshiram the whole time. Black Dragon is cool, but White Dragon is cooler. They got the turbo, they got like the blaze on their tail. It's awesome. It's absolutely awesome. Flygon Pro Dummy. You are asking the questions at a weirdly good time. Because at number 54 is another pseudo-legendary. The goopiest, the doofiest, the friendliest pseudo-legendary ever to legendary in the pseudo form. Mr. Goodra! Come on down, Goodra. Hisuian Goodra is also incredible. And, this is also one of those Pokemon that I don't really know if I need much explaining about it. Goodra's goofy and goopy. Okay? Goodra's your second favorite? Well, it's my 54th favorite. So, we got that in common, 007. Goodra's so funny, dude. Goodra's like... You could have a genuine conversation with Goodra rather than all the other pseudo-legendaries to exist. And, like, I don't like that they made him so sad when they went back in time and found him. But it is what it is. I can't control that. All I can control is how much I adore the way they look now. Look at them. Can you ever say... Goodra's in my top 900. Could you ever say that this guy's mean? Or that he'll do something that, like, stabs you in the back? Absolutely not. There's nothing that Goodra would do that would make me think they're a bad guy. And if they did, I was in the wrong. I'm the incorrect one here, Goodra. And I'm not too proud to admit that. You're goopy, you're goofy, and you're a Goo-Dragon. That is so up my alley, it's unreal. So up my alley. Going on the list. Another starter. Another middle evolution starter. And I did think that I liked as many starters as I realized that I did, but Monferno has always been one of my favorite Pokemon. I can't really explain why. I think a lot of it is because I know that the attitude that they would have is incredible. That's amazing. I can't put my finger on it. They're just like such a goofball, but also like if there were to be a serious battle, they would put on their game face and have a serious battle. But outside of that, they're having a good time. They're living life and they're being themselves. And I can't ask anything more from one of my favorite Pokemon. Because Monferno, never change, man. You got so much personality in you. Now your 3D sprites, they're alright. I don't really like how you... But beggars can't be choosers. And Monferno, if I had one piece of advice for you, I would say to keep that, like, blue color scheme you got going on. I think that's another reason why I ended up really liking Monferno as opposed to Infernape. It's because, like, this orange and the strong blue. It's the perfect amount of strong blue. When you get to Infernape, you lose that, like, bright blue for more of, like, a navy blue, and it works with Infernape. Don't get me wrong, it works with Infernape. But what works more is, like, the joy that Monferno exudes. You know? Are you including Megas on here? The Megas are included in my reasoning, but they are not going to be like their own entry. Like, for example, I really like Slowbro, and it only gets boosted up by them having a Mega. I'm not going to put Mega Slowbro on there, but Slowbro definitely will be on there. I also think that it works out where, like, the Megas that I do like usually come from Pokemon that I really like. So it's never a downside that they have a Mega, it's always a positive. And I'm kind of just basing it on the baseline of the Pokemon I like, and if they have a Mega, that might move them up. If they have a Mega that I really like, that definitely moves them up. Because also, a little bit of this is like, obviously I like Poliwhirl, but I can't like Poliwhirl more than I like Hydreigon, because Hydreigon, I find myself using Hydreigon much more. Much, much more. Just because of the stats and like the move pool and everything that they have about them. Goodra mentioned and talked about for an extensive amount of time. Next. Going back to the multi-battles with no legends on X and Y. I used to run the most scummy, illegal moveset for Blissey that you could ever imagine. Soft-boiled. Minimize. Seismic Toss. And Toxic. And boy is that moveset toxic. People hated playing against me with the Blissey with Minimize and Soft-boiled. I know. I get it. That's my bad. But come on! And also, like, Blissey's just... It's the epitome of happiness. How can you look at this thing and feel hatred in your heart? If you look at this thing and you feel hatred in your heart, figure it out. Talk to someone, talk to a friend, talk to a family member. Maybe go on a Reddit thread r/Blissey and then just consume Blissey propaganda until you are brought to a point of joy. Better than Chansey, because they have a perm. Thank you, Ingrid. You took the word right out of my mouth. Good morning, Jarvin, everyone. Good morning, Blexdos. How the heck are you? Welcome. My favorite Surfetch. They ruined my favorite Excadrill. I kind of agree, Tommy. I kind of agree. I'm not a big fan of Mega Excadrill. It's kind of cool. Maybe it'll grow on me more, but I don't know what I like most anymore. I suggest to anybody that's watching this, do what I did. Honestly, it took me a decent amount of time to make this list because there's a lot of Pokemon to go through and I really wanted to make sure. But I had a great time making it. Thinking about which Pokemon I liked more, and then I did the thought exercise a lot of like, if Monferno didn't exist, would I be more upset than if Goodra didn't exist? And ultimately I got to the point where it's like, no, I like Monferno more. If Monferno didn't exist, I feel like a little piece of my personality wouldn't be the same. As far as Goodra, maybe I'd recover. Maybe I'd recover. So close to making the top 50, but you didn't. And that's okay, because you're number 51, mostly because of your haircut, if I could be honest, followed by your attitude, and finishing off with your spunk and color scheme. Bagon, you're number 51. And I don't think you should feel offended by that. This is a very good ranking for you, Bagon. Bagon, whatever your name is. You're also above Salamence. Spoiler alert, you're not even here on the list, Salamence, because Bagon is the peak of your evolutionary design. You know, the good thing about Bagon is they turn into Shelgon, which is also a cool Pokemon. It's a gimmick, but it's cool. Salamence kind of just goes haywire and becomes Ferocious Dragon, which is good for them. But, like, Bagon has personality in every sense of the word. Look at them. Look at that mullet. And that color scheme. Oh my god, it's actually incredible. Yeah, I also didn't realize how much I like Bagon. They actually were one of my latest entries in this whole list. Because after I made the list, looked through the Pokedex, looked through it one more time, but I looked with physical pictures at this time on the Pokedex, and I was like, damn, look how cool they look. And I've always thought they looked so cool. So cool. So thank you for being here, Bagon. The top 50. The top 50 best Pokemon ever. At number 50. No, where'd you go? It's Zigzagoon, once I find them. Zigzagoon, where are you? Zigzagoon, Zigzagoon, right by Chansey. Joltik, bro. I don't know. I hate spiders. I really don't like spiders. So I don't know if Joltik or Galvantula will make this list. At number 50, though, Zigzagoon. A lot of this comes from their name. They're a zigzag goon. Goon is a very funny word outside of its modern meaning, but just the idea of like a ragtag, like punk, being a goon, but they're also like A raccoon? They got a mask? I don't understand why Zigzagoon isn't more appreciated by the public. Like, look at them. It's perfect. Down to the last detail. You can't get much better than a regional rodent than Zigzagoon. Truly. So much personality. Just based off of their design. And they're not even making a face. Now, all this being said, I'd even bring up Galarian Zigzagoon, who's also amazing. They got glasses, but they're star glasses. This guy, Robber Mask. This guy, Pop Star Shades. And they really like living like a rock star. Oh, look at them. Look at them. Tongue out like they're Michael Jordan. Okay? They're not Michael Jordan. They're a Zigzagoon. But who are you to say that that's an issue? Be yourself, Zigzagoon, and never have anybody change you. Because, by God, the world's a better place with you in it, Zigzagoon. I don't want anybody to think differently. At number 49. Sorry. Coughing just has that effect on me. Where's coughing? Coughing, dude. This poisonous amalgamous ball of fun. Look how goofy they are. Oh my God, this gets me fired up. Coughing. It's so easy for Coughing to have a bad attitude about life. They're a toxic little poisonous ball. But you know what? They don't care. They're gonna colon D. Look at them. Look at them. That's what they are. That's what Coughing does. Coughing's so funny, dude. They have so much personality, and they're just... God, look at them. Coughing's so funny looking. They got the toxic symbol on their chest. Nobody else has that. Nobody else has that. All right? You need a hazmat suit when you're talking to Coughing. But that's the one downside. And they probably smell awful. But that's the only two downsides. Wheezing, you're good. You're okay. I really thought about putting you up here because you're a Galarian form, but no, it's all about Coughing. It's always been about Coughing. So thank you, Coughing. Thank you for being you. And I hope that you like me. And there's Quagsire. Quagsire is in my top 100. I don't know if you guys can see this, but there you go. There you go. God, sorry, I just got fired up about Coughing right there. I didn't. Sorry, something took me over. Something took me over, and I just had to get so excited about Coughing. At number 48, we're going back to the well, and honestly, there's a couple more Johto starters that are gonna be on this list, if I'm being honest with you. But Cyndaquil, you're the best. It's quite simple. It's quite simple. There's nothing really to explain. Cyndaquil. Enough said. I really don't have anything else to say. Coming in above Cyndaquil, though, for a big lore purpose in my life, we have Convict. Convict. The Sudowoodo. They're a criminal. Me and my cousins, since the year 2017, have been doing a 3-person Nuzlocke in Pokemon Platinum. Whenever we hang out, we play our 3-person Soul Link Nuzlocke, okay? I've never grown attached to a Pokemon in this Nuzlocke like Gold Chains the Sudowoodo. I had a Sudowoodo named Gold Chains, alright? They were paired. Wait. Tyranitar. I don't know who the pair was. But I know that this Gold Chains, the Sudowoodo, I was so in love with this guy, it's unreal. I hated him, despised him. And then I grew to love him. The stats aren't good, but the whimsy's all there. And that's all we really have in this godforsaken world, isn't it? If someone tries to take your happiness away, you give them pseudo-wudo. Shake your hands. Do a little dance. Act like a fake tree when you are a real tree. It's perfect. It's pseudo-wudo. It's funny, dude. They're definitely funny. They're definitely one of your funniest friends. And that's just something we're all going to have to accept. Sounds like fun. It's a lot of fun, I'm going to be honest. We still haven't won. We still have not won this three-person Nuzlocke. Rick is also included in that. It's brutal. It's brutal. But currently we are on a run where we just finished Iron Island. We've gone past Iron Island about... We're on attempt number 48. And I'm not kidding because we document each attempt on paper. We're on attempt number 48 since 2017. That's neither here nor there. I love you, Pseudo-Wudo. And now I'm just noticing that these balls on your hands aren't one color. Got a little gradient going. Thank you for everything you stand for, Pseudo-Wudo. Thank you for everything you represent. And now at number 46. The OG Pseudo-Legendary. But not the fully evolved one. Dragonair. Dragonair's so cool. Dragonair's one of the coolest things ever. And yeah, not even talking about Convict Hard carried the mystery dungeon thing. That's not even, like, how much I love Pseudo-Wudo, and that's not even, like, really mentioned. That's how much I love Pseudo-Wudo. Melon made great art of Pseudo-Wudo too. Wait, let me see. Bet you didn't see that coming. So yeah, sorry, distraction. At number 46 is Dragonair. The coolest dragon serpent to ever exist. The fact they turn into Dragonite is amazing, but you know, I kind of grew up my whole life a little bit wishing that Dragonair would just become a bigger Dragonair. A cooler Dragonair, more of a serpent Dragonite. And it became Dragonite, which I assure you I love. I love dearly. But Dragonair's so cool. Evan Dare just described, that's cooler. Look at me in Slowpoke. Thank you, Slowpoke. Dragonair, dude. Dragonair is the best cards, too. I haven't even honestly looked at Dragonair cards ever. I don't know what to say about Dragonair, because I feel like there's nothing I can say about Dragonair. If you know, you know, and if you don't, maybe one day I hope you'll learn. Wow, I'm excited to review this guy. Look at these cards, too. Coming through the ether? Are you kidding me? How many Pokemon do you know that just can come through the ether? I know him and Rayquaza. For sure, for sure. Wait, why do they have so many good cards, Ingrid? Oh my god, what a call. What? See? All of this. All of this is just amazing. Dragonair sounds like an airline. Kitchen, you say some actually really funny things like every stream. And I want you to know that. I want you to know that, Kitchen. Look at that Dragonair. Look at that beautiful Dragonair. This one probably won't even make my top 5. That's just like... Dragonair is such a good Pokemon design. I fear that everybody overlooks it. Milotic. Milotic, I don't... Well, I know. Milotic has not made the list. If it makes you feel better, when I made this list originally, I just had the whole Pokedex in text form, and then I cut it down to 135. Milotic was in the top 135. But they did not make the top 100, Tommy. Mega Pseudo-Wudo would be amazing. And I really like how Mega Dragonite kind of went back to the well with Dragonair. They gave it its winged ears. They gave it everything that it needed to be cool. But, you know what's cooler? Really want to know what's cooler? Speaking of going back to the well, we got to go all the way down for this guy. And, you know, let me say this first. I get the dislike for this Pokemon, okay? they didn't really fix. They didn't really fix it. They just did the same thing and made it bigger. But for some reason, I have so much respect and adoration for the Dunsparce. Where's the Dunsparce? The Dunsparce, where are you? Yeah, where are you, the Dunsparce? Starting to get worried about your well-being. Oh, now I have to look for the Dunsparce hard. Where are you, the Dunsparce? The Dunsparce. The Dunsparce? Why are you hiding from me, dude? If you guys see him, please help me. He's in this generation, right? Hell yeah. I agree. Oh, now I'm getting rattled because I can't find the Dunsparce. Where are you, dude? Behind your head? Oh my god! He's behind me, isn't he? Is there not the Dunsparce on here? What is this radicalization of the Dunsparce? Probably next to Dunsparce. Are they up here? Getting a little annoyed. Where's the Dunsparce, dude? You were just on him? No, I wasn't. Are you for real? Are you for real, for real? Guys, you have to help me out. I guess I could look up the Dunsparce Pokedex entry. The Dunsparce. The last column. Oh! Oh, yeah, because it kind of looks normal. Thank you, guys. Thank you, 007, and thank you, Zachary. Behind your head. Oh, that's so funny. You were actually talking about behind my head. The Dunsparce, I already said it, but, like, they didn't really upgrade the Dunsparce, and I get why that's why people don't like him, but that's honestly why I like him. They said, here, you've been complaining for years and years and years about Dunsparce. Take the Dunsparce. And people don't like that. But I really do, dude. Like, I don't know. Like, maybe the Dunsparce was always meant... Maybe Dunsparce, sorry, was always meant to just become the Dunsparce. Because, like, look at him. It looks natural to me. And I've already said it a bunch. I can see why people don't like it. But I love it. Because what else would dumb Dunsparce evolve into? Just a bigger Dunsparce, dude. And it's got pretty good stats. Not gonna lie to you. They made Dunsparce legitimate. And that's all we ever needed in life. I would die for a Mega Dunsparce. Now, this one was a weird amount of thinking for me. I had to really think hard how much I liked this Pokemon. We don't need another Magikarp Gyarados. Kitchen, great point, actually. Actually, great point. I will, yes, Tommy, I will be honest. A lot of the Fakemon for a Dunsparce evolution is incredible. And honestly, probably better than Dunsparce actually is. But I still love the Dunsparce. Even though I know how stupid it is and how just like low effort you could say. I don't know. There's just something about it that like there's just something about it. This one. Now, I'm a big fan of Pokemon. I don't know if you guys can tell. But they do some little things in these games where it's just like, man, you guys care. And a lot of games sometimes have creators that don't really care. They just want to push out the games. Which is most Pokemon games, keep in mind. But like, the love and affection that they give to Nosepass is very well done. I don't know what direction it is, but in Arceus, the Nosepass always faces north, I believe. And that's such a good little Easter egg to put in every game. The fact that you give Roxanne Nosepass right when you first start the Hoenn region and you fight Nosepass, you're like, what is this thing? It doesn't look like any other Pokemon up to this point. It's like blocky, but still smooth. It doesn't have personality, but it does. And a lot of these Pokemon that as we get higher up the list, there's some sort of like mystic rarity to them. Like now Nosepass can be caught like it's nothing. Like you can get them like hotcakes. But back in the day, in the OG Ruby and Sapphire, it was really difficult to catch Nosepass. You couldn't really find it. There's a certain thing about it that is like, why? What? This thing is so rare. It's so cool. And I just grew to love it. The older I grew up, the more I realized, like, man, I never realized, but I love Nosepass. I love everything it stands for, and I just really like its design. I would have a Nosepass in real life. Now, this was a tough one, because, as I was saying earlier, kind of like Garchomp, I love Gengar. Everybody loves Gengar. But I don't love Gengar enough to talk about how much I love Gengar, you know? Like, I love Gengar, don't get me wrong. Like, ever since Quagsire up, these are Pokemon that I undoubtedly love. And it made me a little sad. Because everybody else's affection for Gengar made me downplay my affection for Gengar. Which is not how it's supposed to go. I love Gengar, and I should appreciate that. Now, there are a lot of people with Gengar as their number 1, number 2, number 3. And I respect them for that. They probably should be talking about Gengar more than I do. But I don't give Gengar the love that they truly deserve. And that's on my bad. That's my bad, Gengar. You don't deserve that. You don't deserve to get that. Alright? You deserve the love that you deserve. And it makes sense that you're one of the highest grossing Pokemon as far as Moolah Cash Money racks. Okay? Because look at you. You got every attribute that people love in Pokemon. You got everything. Cool design, lots of personality, and like a dope backstory. I love the fan theory that Gengar is Clefable's shadow. I love G-Max Gengar. I love Mega Gengar. And I'm happy that I'm finally able to get this off my chest. Because you deserve the world and more, Gengar. And I know that you're overrated. I know that you're overdone. Kind of like Charizard. But the difference between you and Charizard is you still have integrity. Charizard is marketing collateral. But you, Gengar, you're not. And I just want to thank you for being you, Gengar. Moment of silence for Gengar. Because they are dead. Get it? Because they're a ghost. We are ranking the top 100 Pokemon according to JARV. And Gengar just came in at number 43. At number 42, I almost feel bad for having them this low. And this is actually the first adjustment that I'm making on this list on the fly. Okay? I originally had you a couple spots higher, but I saw the other Pokemon that were around you, and I said, you know what? I like them more than you. But that's not to take anything away from you, Giratina. You are the pinnacle of cool. No other way around it. Every child that ever looked at Giratina was like, that's one of the coolest things I've ever seen. And you are still one of the coolest things I've ever seen. Much like Gengar, I almost feel embarrassed that I like you so much. Because it's basic. But who said basic is bad? You know, people like vanilla because it tastes good. You know, people don't like vanilla because of its spunk. And like, oh, look at the edge that vanilla has. No, it's good and it's good. Okay? Right there. And I'm also going to make another adjustment to the list because I do like Gengar more than Giratina after looking at it. So that was honestly the first addition that I made on the fly. Addition, edit, whatever. Yeah, but Giratina, you go in a distortion world, and you're just the coolest thing ever. And your serpent form, don't even get me started on your serpent form. Like this guy right here, Giratina. Now this guy is cool. Don't get me wrong. Don't get it twisted. This thing is cool by itself. But then you get cooler. Sorry, then you get much cooler. Like, look at him. You are the devil. I know that's your role in these games. And this is the perfect way of illustrating it. Legends Arceus. One of the final battles is against Giratina. And that's really cool. I just really like the way that they've used Giratina throughout the years. They've done well. And good work, Giratina. Because without you, all the Sinnoh legendaries would suck. You got me. Palkia's not on this list, and I'm sorry. Shoulder pad's not for me. Time Dinosaur Dragon, Dialga, not for me. Ghost Dragon with bad intentions, surely for me. Surely for everybody. Buy one, get one free. Giratina, going like hotcakes, okay? That's why we love you, Giratina. Now, originally, Giratina found themselves at number 38. But I looked at these next 3 Pokemon, these next 4 Pokemon, and I thought, man, there's no way. There's actually no way that I love Giratina more than these. Coming in hot, and a little embarrassment that I have to bring upon myself. The very first starter that I ever picked, and I only say that because I love Trico and Grovyle and Sceptile, but the very first starter I picked was Mudkip. And that's when Swampert came into my life. We're going to go a little bit on a starter run here. But the least of these next 3 starters is Swampert. The ground water type is so cool. And Swampert is done so well. Mega Swampert, cool and all. But Swampert themselves is awesome. I don't really know what they are. And I don't really think that matters. But, like, they got so much personality, and they're strong, and they stand up for what they know is right. Okay? If you make fun of one of their friends, Swampert's surely going to come and be like, hey, man, why you got to do that? They're a gentleman, but they're also a scoundrel. And that's a very fine line that you have to dance, okay? And, like, Swampert deserves the world. Swampert deserves the world and nothing less. Now, I'm gonna have to move a little bit for this guy. But, like, look at them. So much power in everything they do. And I've never seen this GIF, but oh my god, I want to put them up higher because of this GIF. Do you see how they're running? Do you actually see that? That's crazy. Let me move it a little bit for my tic-tackers. Look at that. You really got me thinking of moving you up higher after that, but you're not going to be moved up higher, Swampert. I love you so much. And I thank you for developing my personality in a way to be steadfast in myself. Swampert has the utmost confidence in themselves. They are the epitome of self-confidence. But what's better than Swampert? Now, you might not agree with me. And if you don't, it's okay. Because that means there's more for me. Have you guys ever met a crocodile so ferocious that you wanted to be their friend? Have you ever met a crocodile so ferocious that you wanted to be their friend? With a cool mohawk? I'm not kidding you when I say that for a long portion of my life, I wanted to be Crocodile. Short and sweet. You know how every kid likes spikes? Every kid likes spiky everything. You know, like spiky hair, spiky necklaces, spikes in general. I don't know what or why, But, like, every kid rocks with spikes. I don't get it. But Crocodile is the epitome of spikes done well. And, like, also, I mean, I can't even really put my finger on why I like Crocodile so much. Actually, I can. I always thought it was so cool that it looks like they're hatching from an egg. Okay? They're not. Or maybe they did in a past life as a Totodile. But, like, the fact that their shell, their body makes them look like they just hatched from a shell, it still gave that middle evolution, like, I'm still a kid, but don't freaking mess with me, dude. Look how much spikes I have, dude. Don't mess with me. That was always the best part about Crocodile. And, yeah, again, I wanted to be a Crocodile for a large portion of my life. Once I found out that I couldn't be a Crocodile, it kind of sucked. But, see, I'll never be you. But I want to be. And it is with a heavy heart. Actually, no. Another adjustment that I have. These last 5 have really been flipped around. But I'm glad that I'm doing this on the fly because I'm not strangle-held to what my original list was. The next Pokemon after this one is really important for everything that goes on in this channel. But for right now, at number 38, everybody, please give a round of applause for Wobbuffet. Wobbuffet! That's all I need to say. That's really all I need to say. Wobbuffet is so cool. I love the lore that Wobbuffet is controlled by their tail. Like, that black thing, their tail is actually what controls them. And that is one of the coolest pieces of lore ever. They are also a glorified punching bag. But, in between all of that, they're a great Pokemon. They're actually a good, not only good design, color scheme, beautiful. This, like, range of blues and greens, it's not green, but like that teal to like blue range, I love that color, okay? And like, the stats aren't good, but it doesn't matter because of what Wobbuffet does. You know, I grew up a long part of my life hating Wobbuffet because I didn't understand Wobbuffet. Bars. I'm giving myself a pat on the back of that one. I hated Wobbuffet because I didn't understand Wobbuffet. And then when I came to learn about Wobbuffet, I realized I've been wrong my whole life. This thing's so cool. I also had a Wobbuffet named Ugly Hot, which is the perfect nickname for a Wobbuffet. Especially when they have the girl one with the lipstick. And my final point about loving Wobbuffet strictly comes from my sister. She loves screaming Wobbuffet. Wobbuffet! She loves doing that, dude. And I love that she does it too. I find that so funny. And as you guys know, when I'm doing Pokemon card reviews, sometimes I'll get my family members to be included in them if it's their favorite Pokemon. For example, my sister did Psyduck. My brother did Arcanine. Whenever I get Wobbuffet, that sister will be in my video. And she will talk about Wobbuffet, and we will bond. Okay? 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 Okay. I like it, but Destiny Bond is scary. And honestly, that's another part of it. It's like so... It's got an edge to it. It's evil. You wouldn't expect this thing to be evil. Although they work for Team Rocket, you wouldn't expect them to be so bad to the bone. And by God, they're bad to the bone. Thank you for everything, Wobbuffet. But you know who deserves a little more thanks? A lot more thanks? The backbone to this channel and all of our happiness alike. The friend that brought us through Legends EA. The friend that brought us so close to beating Pokemon Insurgents multiple times. The Pokemon that's entered the Hall of Fame. In a JARV Nuzlocke. 1 or 2. But number 40? Number... What number is this? Number 38. It's a shame you're not higher, but that has nothing to do with you. Everybody, please give a round of applause for our love. Our love? Our love. Our savior. Herb. Herb the Meganium. Oh, yeah! Woo! Also, I'm realizing now that I should have moved a couple Pokemon up. So wait, so this is 55, 54, 53, 52, 51, 50, 49, 48, 47, 46, 45, 44, 43, 42, 41. Herb, you're amazing. Herb, not only do they get them fairy type for their further Mega Evolution, their Mega looks incredible. Their Mega looks absolutely incredible. But this might be one of the Pokemon entered here the most because of JARV. Now, you guys gotta realize, I've been playing Pokemon my whole life, okay? And I've always liked Meganium. But there hasn't been a Pokemon in this channel and its lore and its history that's made me grow to love it more than Herb. Herbonomics, Herbonometron, Herbometry, Herbaceous. So many different forms of Meganium that I grew to love it even more. And I'm so glad that I found myself in the reality, exactly like Ingrid said, where so many people are coming around on Chikorita now. Did it have to be Mega Meganium? Sure. Okay? But sometimes things need to happen for other things to happen. And it sucks that it took Meganium so many years to get the love it deserves. Because it's a dinosaur with a big flower around their neck. Land Before Time has nothing on this thing, okay? And it's so good in everything. Its temperament. This thing is literally the sweetest Pokemon you can ever have. But also, they will get down and dirty for you. They will fight to the death for your accomplishments. And Herb, I love you for that, dude. You are the best. I've never grown to love a Pokemon more in my older age than you, Herb. Okay? And I want you to know how special you are to me. Thank you, Herb. I will always love you. You got any Herb cards in your PC? I don't. I don't. Oh my god, I should though. Let's also, while we're here, let's look at some Meganium cards. I should get some Meganium cards in my personal collection. That's actually a great point, Pierogi. But like, dude, this is what I'm talking about. This is exactly what I'm talking about. Like, this is why Herb is cool. Because they're a dinosaur with the flower around their neck. The design is incredible. And it's friendly and it's a good dinosaur. Okay? But they will get angry. And they will kill if you tell them to. Okay? Now this guy is the same as this guy. Right? Right? They got the same morality. They got the same moral compass. They got the same 9 to 5 even. Okay? But the fact that they're a chameleon. You know, you put them in one friend group, and they'll be the outgoing, friendly one. You put them in another friend group, and they will be the defender of the crew. Meganium has so much going for them. And I'm so glad they're finally getting the love and adoration they deserve with ZA. Sorry, I needed a diatribe on Meganium because while they're lower on this list, they've done so much for this channel and my personal laughs when I'm playing these games. Right when I first got my first Meganium, I named it Herb. I'm like, you know, low-key, that's a fantastic name. And from there, finito. Finito. It was done from there. We could have put them in my top 38 right from the get-go. But now we're here. And number 37, y'all. Starting to get real nitty-gritty with this list. Now, if you've been here for most of the stream, you'll remember my notes about Crobat. Or, well, I guess spoiler alert, it's Crobat. My first shiny ever was Golbat. And the only way that shiny Golbat could get better from that lime green thing is going to pink and becoming a strong pink Crobat. Where the heck are you, Crobat? Pierogi donated 20 bucks. Let's go! Pierogi, I don't deserve you, my dog. Great. Honestly, greatly thank you. Greatly thank you so much. I'm trying to see what the note you said was, too. That's so tight. That's actually so tight. Shout out Pierogi, dude.
Shout out motherfreaking Pierogi. Shout out freaking Pierogi. Shout out freaking Pierogi. Shout out freaking Pierogi.
Crobat, dude. I love you, Crobat. I also love all of you guys watching right now. But, based off of Brachio? Brachio? I don't really know what that means. Crobat, you're also so good because you are like the evil... You're the evil bat for Team Rocket. And while that is cool, I also love that if they needed to acquire a Crobat, they needed to do so through love and friendship. And, hate to say it, guys, but it seems like they love their Pokemon. Because a lot of Team Rocket people ended up having a Crobat. Okay? Now that goes against their character and what they stand for. Of just being hardos, you know? But becoming a strong pink. It's my first shiny ever. Joey Golbat will now forever be a Crobat. See, you see Golbat's down here, right? Golbat's right here in this range, but Crobat. Because that Golbat eventually goes to a Crobat. And I don't think I need to explain more about Crobat. Very cool. Unfortunately, I do like them more than Herb. I'm sorry, Herb. But I love you more than anything, Herb. And that's really a fact. You gotta realize, Herb, that I love you. But I love Crobat because of, like, the childhood affection that they've granted me. They were my first level 100 Pokemon ever. When I ended up acquiring them in Pokemon X and Y, I got that thing up to 100 so fast you couldn't even say Mom. And that's a really short word to say. So. Now, at number 36... Nostalgia's a powerful drug. Sorry, Herb. Exactly, Pierogi. And the Bears are going to win today. That is a side note. I really hope the Bears win today. Hello, Golbat. Hello, Crobat. Anyways. Next. At number 36. Get over here. Get over here, Spiel. What the heck? You thought that you could evade this list longer than you have? Absolutely not! This one needs no explanation. They're honestly one of the cutest Pokemon ever. When I was playing my first Hoenn playthrough, when I saw Spiel, I already had a Swampert on my team, keep in mind. When I saw Spiel, I'm like, there's no way. Like, I need that. I don't care what it turns into, okay? I didn't know that it turned into Walrein, which is also dope, for the record. I didn't need to know that, okay? What I needed to know was what I knew. And I knew that I liked this little rotund ball of fun. Okay? It's awesome. It's spherical. It's spherical. And the Legends ZA, or not Legends ZA, Legends Arceus event where they rolled down the hill. So good. So good. Borderline great. I love you, Spiel. And honestly, never change. Maybe we can get a Mega Whalrin later in life, and I hope it just becomes rotund like Celio. And honestly, another really close Pokemon that missed this whole list was Celio. Walrein, not so much. I do love Walrein. I don't love Walrein. I do like Walrein. But Celio deserves to be on here. I just don't think... I'm not kidding you. I think I like Celio more than Cloyster. Sorry, Cloyster. That's so bogus. You just got the shaft so hard. But after thinking about it, I'm like, the reason I love Spiel so much is because I love Celio. But Spiel's better. And honestly, I like Ursaring more than Celio. I like Turtonator more than Celio. But, like, That mustache that Celio has, I'm a sucker for a stash, guys. Look. Look, I got a mustache. No, I don't. But Celio does. That's weird how well that just goes right into this top 100. Because they really are my 100th favorite Pokemon. Shout out Cloyster. Very much shout out Cloyster. But I'm sorry, you just got the shaft for Celio so hard. At number 35. A Pokemon that nobody really talks about how great its design is. And it kind of pisses me off sometimes. Because how are you going to overlook an apple pie dragon? That crap makes no sense to a guy like JARV. Like, look at him. Look, okay, we're going... Okay, not Spotify. We're going... Look at that, dude. Alright, number one, it's got the hat. It's got the hat to cover its head. Automatically cool. I rock with helmets. I rock with safety. Then the droopy ears. Come on. Give me some more droopy ears. But just the rotund body of Appleton reminds me of Pete's dragon. Now, I haven't really made that connection until vocalizing it right now. But for some reason, this is Appleton. And I grew up watching this movie and thinking, well, that dragon is really cool. And I love dragons. For a long portion of my life, fun fact about me, my nickname in my family is Baby Dragon. Not only am I the youngest of all my siblings, but I loved dragons. So my mom would call me Baby Dragon. So I loved dragons my whole life. That is why you'll see a lot of dragon types on this list and why I just find the dragon type so cool in general. I mean, who doesn't, though? Dragons are, like, the coolest thing ever. Straight up! But, like, look at him. Look at Pete's dragon, and then look at Appleton. And then, like, just the backstory that they're a freaking apple pie dragon? Like, what? Like, what? Let's read a little bit of info about him. Eating a sweet apple caused its evolution. Fruit. Vitamins. We love that. A nectarious scent wafts from its body, luring in the bug Pokemon to prey on. Kind of messed up. But I like it. Because you're a bad boy, Appleton. You wouldn't expect this guy to be a bad boy. But boy, are they a bad boy. I heard Ben Franklin wanted Appleton to be the symbol of America. Pierogi? And what's stopping us? What's really stopping us from doing so? I sure don't know. Appleton. Give me some love. And I love that it's still got like the thing in its evolution line. It's beautiful. G-Max Appleton, whatever. This thing, though, incredible. Incredible. Volcarona won't make it. Unfortunately, no. I do love Volcarona. Well, I don't. See, this is a good test for me to have. I can't say that I love Volcarona when they're not in my top 75. I know that I love Volcarona. No. Sorry. I know that I love Quagsire, okay? And I know that I love Typhlosion, and Trapinch, and Crobat, and Gengar. But I don't even like Volcarona more than I like Aerodactyl. And that's how I know, this is how I got through this whole list. I put a Pokemon down, I'm like, do I love this Pokemon more than I love this Pokemon? And the answer was no. Or sometimes it was yes, and then they would be moved up. JARV, my beloved, how are you? I'm doing great. Right now we're ranking Pokemon, and we're on number 35. We just completed number 35. Because number 34, Charmander top 10? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I'm sorry, but Charmander gets the shaft because of Charizard. I don't know if I dislike him. No, I do dislike Pokemon more than Charizard. But Charizard might be one of my top 10 most disliked Pokemon. And the wacky thing about that is that I don't hate Charizard. Charizard's objectively cool. It looks dope. I just hate that whenever it's like, oh, what Pokemon do you like? Oh, Charizard. And the freaking, the Charizard that's like $1 million, the Pokemon card that's like $1 million Charizard, not cool. I don't really rock with that. I just don't like how much attention Charizard gets when there's 1,024 other Pokemon. I get why Pikachu gets the attention. And by God, I love it. I love it for Pikachu, honestly. I don't love Pikachu. I like Pikachu. I love it for Pikachu, though. Like, Pikachu needed that to be It's the perfect representation of Pokemon, Pikachu is. It's a great mascot, really. In my younger days, I hated Pikachu. But now that I'm a little older, it makes sense. Why would I hate Pikachu? Go Broncos. I mean, sure. We dislike Charizard for being popular. Damn. No, exactly. Why Umbreon gets the attention. Umbreon should get a lot more attention. Because that's cool. I think the thing I dislike most about Charizard is they shamelessly gave it 2 Megas. I'm a big fan of the Megas. Honestly, that mechanic is my favorite mechanic in all the games. Why did you give it 2 Megas? Why can't Blastoise get 2 Megas? Why can't Venusaur get 2 Megas? It's literally because they knew that they would make more money that they made 2 Megas for Charizard. And like, whatever. Sure, it worked. Go ahead. But like, come on. We don't need to be doing that. Talk about low-hanging fruit. They said, oh, double the money, say less. Honestly, though. Honestly. G-Max Charizard is dope. I will say that. Thank you, Melon. It's a weird relationship that I have with Charizard. Because, again, I hate the idea of Charizard, but I like Charizard. You know? Charizard's objectively cool. It's a dope dragon. And it's a starter. And it's cool. And it's fire-breathing. But I hate everything that comes with it. It's kind of like taxes. The idea of taxes is great. But the execution of taxes is absolutely awful. And if it was fixed, man, maybe people wouldn't hate taxes so much. Yeah, I really think that was a good comparison. I'm going to pat myself on the back there. Anyways, major sidetrack, because we're at number 34. And at number 34 is a kind of a basic selection, I'm not going to lie. But I don't care. Ampharos? Who doesn't love Ampharos? You could be best friends with an Ampharos, and Ampharos could save the world. Megas are digital monsters, and they are not the champions. Megas very much are close to Digimon, I will say that. Ampharos, though. Speaking of Megas, Mega Ampharos might be one of the best things to ever exist. And I liked Ampharos growing up, alright? I liked Ampharos as much as the next guy, but then they came out with this thing. And might be when I bought into Megas fully. Why did they do that? Whatever, why they did it. But why does a dragon get long flow? Why does it get flow? Okay? It's the coolest thing ever. It's actually the coolest thing ever. Like, I really don't even know what more to say about it, if I'm being honest, because it's so, like, this design, perfect. Friendly, Jasmine's Ampharos, like Ingrid just said. It's great. It's iconic. Everybody loves it. There's not a bad thing about Ampharos. Again, that black and white color scheme showing up in my life. I loved Ampharos. In all my Johto games, I would always grab the Mareep, just like the next guy. But then when they came out with this thing, they gave it long flowing locks. They said, you know, we could give this thing wings to make it look like a dragon, but let's give it Fabio hair. Let's give it Fabio hair instead to look like a dragon. Why? Why not? Honestly, I'll rest my case here. G-Max doesn't fit Pokemon at all. Yeah, I don't like how G-Max is like the energy of the Pokemon gets bigger, not the actual physical Pokemon gets better. I don't really like that fact. What I do like is Ampharos. Alright. Coming in at number 33. And by far, when I showed my cousins this list, this was the first question they asked me. And it's quite simple. I love, absolutely adore Spupa. This is easily the highest bug on this list, and I don't like bug-type Pokemon. But there's something about Spupa, dude, that's so freaking funny. Okay? Maybe it's because, to me, they look like they're wearing a trench coat. In this photo, not as much. But, like, they're cold. Okay? They just need a blankie. That's all they really need. Fabio, get out of here. We're talking about Spupa now. Like, look. In here, it looks like they're wearing a trench coat. And, like, look at this group of Spupa. And I don't really know why I like Spupa so much. I don't know why. Tommy just said it must be rage bait. Honestly, I would agree with that on premise, but I don't get it because I don't like Vivian, and I really don't like Spupa. Or no. I don't really like what does it evolve from? Scatterbug. Scatterbug kind of lame. Absolutely not lame. Very lame. But like, I don't get it. I really don't. This is one of those ones that I don't get why I love it so much. But immediately when I saw Spupa, I think a lot of it is because I thought it was in a trench coat. But now after further review, I can see that it's not in a trench coat. Like, that looks like they're in a trench coat a little bit. But one thing I do know is, like, I'll look at Spupa compared to Ampharos. It's like, I definitely like Spupa better. Maybe it's like the rotund shape and the way it's designed that makes it so high up here. I don't know. But by God, Spupa, you snuck into this top 100 way too high. And I know that. And there you go. Congratulations, Spupa. I would get my insurance done by Spupa. Not that they're offering, but I would. Number 32. Okay? 3, 2. 1, 2, 3, 2. 32. Get over here. Luigi. Otherwise known as Porygon Z. Now, if you know JARV loves Porygon too. And you can see that guy higher up in this list here. But Porygon Z is the best thing they could have done to evolve Porygon 2. The way that this Pokemon line works is honestly so cool. Porygon, digital glitch. Porygon 2, upgraded digital glitch. Porygon Z, virus. It's impeccable. The way that they built that throughout generations was amazing. And like, the color scheme is enough for Porygon Z. But really, it's the way they move in battle that I find so cool. Like when they use Tri-Attack and they just go, and they spaz out and they send all the power. It's incredible. It's actually incredible. Yeah, I don't really have much else to say. I did always this is one of the Pokemon that honestly kind of annoyed me though when I was like Wi-Fi battling a bunch. I could never find the proper use. Special attack is through the roof, and its speed is good, but it's not like that good enough to put a choice scarf on it. So sometimes you just want to put choice specs on it. Because, like, look at this learn set. Moves learned. I guess I'll just scroll down to moves learned. Alright, never mind. I guess I'll click the hot link again. Moves learned. See, like, look at all the moves it can learn. And, like, as far as a battling point of view, Porygon Z is so cool. Design? Yeah, very cool. But you get Thunderbolt, you get Ice Beam, you get Shadow Ball, you get Dark Pulse. So putting, I know, Electro Web, that's new. I don't really know what I was going to say about that. But, New Gen wondering why this evolves with a disc. That's hilarious. But, yeah. I don't really know. I think I've said as all I need to really say about Porygon Z. This doesn't seem like that hot of a take that people find this thing cool. And I'm people. So, there you go. There you go. Have a good day. Bye. I love you. See you, Mom. All right. At number 31, if I were ever to get a Pokemon tattoo, it'd be of Ditto. Ditto is a great design. The idea of Ditto is super dope. The fact that it can just transform into any other Pokemon, the imposter ability made this thing so much better. Because then it just immediately transformed. You didn't need to do all the BS of using transform and most likely dying the first turn. But Ditto's so goofy, dude. So incredibly goofy that it makes me happy. And if I were ever to get a Pokemon tattoo, it would be of Ditto's little smiling face. Because that would give the theory that, like, a Ditto transformed into JARV. And that's funny to me. But yeah, I really like that when Ditto transforms into anything in the anime, it just keeps the face. Obviously, I feel like this is more of a basic entry, so like I don't really need to explain why I love Ditto so much. It's great. Ditto's game. Exactly. Poketopia, I think it's called. That game's going to be very fun, and a lot of people are going to enjoy playing that. And it's just because it's Ditto, dude. Who friggin' doesn't love Ditto? And it's like, this Ditto is the peak of how Pokemon leans into being dumb sometimes. Kind of like Mega Starmie. I hate Mega Starmie, but like I respect them for doing that. Like, leaning into being and looking dumb is awesome. And they really leaned into that with Ditto. Thank you, Ditto. It's also really helpful when you're like breeding Pokemon for Wi-Fi battling. Had a lot of Ditto back in the day. But yeah, Ditto. It's amazing. If it had coloring options, I'd be all for it. That's actually not a bad idea, Tommy. If you made like a blue Ditto, a green Ditto, a burgundy Ditto. Not a burgundy Ditto. I would keep like a teal Ditto. How about that? Ditto. Alright. That Ditto is number 31. Now we are in the top 30. Starting off with Blastoise. Blastoise is great. Blastoise is fantastic. I don't really think this one needs that big of an explanation. Turtle with cannons on its back. Dope. My first fully evolved starter. Dope. As far as Kanto goes. And yeah, you know, Mega Blastoise leaves a little much to be held. You just get 2 cannons and make them 1 cannon. Could be worse, I suppose. Could be Mega Pyroar. But Blastoise, textbook cool. Really nothing more to say about it. Blastoise is dope. Thank you for being you, Blastoise. Big turtle with cannons on their back. You're amazing. Number 29. The second comment made by my cousin when I showed him this list is, yeah, you've always weirdly liked Altaria. And yeah, I weirdly like Altaria. This thing, toothpick, cotton swab, my friend, okay? The only dragon that I guarantee would never get angry. Goodra has that point of their personality where it's like, if you push them, they could get angry. But Altaria? Never. Mega Altaria? Fantastic. I would use that thing during Wi-Fi battling all the time, too. Give it Heal Bell, Dragon Pulse, Moon Blast, Fire Blast, call it a day. Call it a day. Actually, I think I had Roost instead of Dragon Pulse. But whatever. People try to send in your Steel types. Try to fight me with their Steel types. You know what I would do? I would Fire Blast their face. I would like to hug him. You and me both, Blastoise. This is a Pokemon that I know would be my best friend. If I had an Altaria, they would be my best friend. It's one of the few Pokemon that I would love to have. Because, like, having Porygon Z, cool when you're playing a video game, kind of terrifying when you have it in real life. Assuming that that thing would be real. And a lot of my Pokemon affiliation, too, is, like, imagining myself in the Pokemon world. Altaria's, like, I feel like, is a great encapsulation of my personality. Just, like, dorky and soft. But there's still a dragon beneath. I can't believe I said that. And it evolves into the first Dragon Fairy type. Mega evolves. That's dope. Swablu's also very good. There's a smaller version of Altaria, though. Come in. Now, this might shock a lot of people. If you know JARV, you know me. And if you know me, you know that I love Slowbro so much. But Slowpoke? I love them less. Slowpoke is up here because of the undeniable connection that it has to Slowbro. And that is why they're there. Slowpoke's great. Slowpoke would be my best friend if I had Pokemon. And I don't know if I would evolve it into a Slowbro, because that shell, very spiky. Slowpoke's so dopey. It's so stupid and it's so funny. I love them. But I love 27 Pokemon more than Slowpoke. Would you buy a Slowpoke's tail? Absolutely not. That is diabolical. Sometimes Dragon, sometimes Fairy Beneath. Slowpoke is amazing. Slowpoke is the best evolution line, period. And to be the best evolution line, you gots to have a good start. And while I'm kind of poo-pooing the fact of how much I love Slowpoke, because of how much I love its counterparts, they also did the Galarian version so well. You know, Slowpoke might be higher on this list if I didn't love so many other Pokemon more. This is the highest I could put them without feeling like, you know, I feel like I'm kind of just lying to myself a little bit. The closer we get to the top, the more I get shocked who isn't up there. Shelter biting his tail is so weird. Looks like a mini pink lazy hippo. I love it. Kitchen, that's exciting. That you don't know what's coming. Because a lot of these, I guess I don't really talk about that much. How much I just adore it. Slowpoke, thank you for being you. Because without you, we wouldn't have Slowbro. And by God, that's amazing. At number 27, closing out this 26 through 40 list. This group of the listing. Also, a little funny fact. When I wrote this in a Google Doc, the original first time, I wrote the top 25 were absolute adoration. The next 25 were felt bad that they weren't top 25. And then the next 25 was I like the cut of their jib. So right now we are finishing off the I wish that I loved them more. Or I wish there was more spots than 25. Because we're still not in the top 25. We're at number 27. And at number 27, this isn't a hot take. Everybody loves Tyranitar. And the cool thing about Tyranitar is that it sucks on paper. Well, actually it doesn't. It's amazing on paper. But it has quad weaknesses and other weaknesses up the whiz-waz wazoo. But it doesn't care. It doesn't care. This is the peak design of pseudo-legendary, dude. It's so cool. And if you don't think Tyranitar is cool, I think you're just trying to be contrarian. You gotta have Aeron up there, Growlithe. I don't know. Mega Tyranitar, you know, is cool. I like how it goes back to the Pupitar look. But like this. When Pokemon created Tyranitar, they immediately knew we're making $1 billion. All we have to do is do less than that and we're making $1 billion. Come on. Come on. My nephew loves the Green Godzilla so much. Who wouldn't love the Green Godzilla? Its design is perfect. And my most favorite thing about its design, it's a pseudo-legendary, right? But it's got a little beer belly. There's nothing that I love more than it having a little bit of a beer belly. It's so funny that it has a gut. And it's Chubbs, number one. For anybody that watches the Nuzlocke on this channel, Chubbs the Tyranitar is actually my heart and soul. And that brought it up on this list. But Tyranitar was already this high. When I was a kid, this thing was the coolest thing ever. And how is it not the coolest thing ever still? It's just so bad to the bone. So bad to the bone. Due to international copyright law, it is not Green Godzilla, for the record. That is a good point. It somehow sucks on paper and practice, but it's cool in every other way. Honestly, exactly, Kitchen. Exactly. Now look at the little Tyranitar gifts for the fam. For the party people. And I love that it's that perfect, like, it's a reptile. It's a dinosaur. It's a dragon? I don't know what it is. It perfectly fits in all of that, just like creation of a creature, and it's so cool. The color scheme, so cool. The ferocity of it, even cooler. Can't wait for Shuckle to enter the top 10. Guys, I'm so excited to get to the top 10. All right. The last entry before the top 25. This is the tier of I wish that I could love you guys more. Absol on top. Absol also just missed the cut. Absol might have been like 109. When I tell you
this Pokemon and their design is flawless, I mean that. I'm a big fan of Pokemon going back to their evolution line and bringing back things. Absol. And going back... Sorry. I'm a big fan of Pokemon going back to their evolution line and gathering pieces of information to now make it what it is at its full evolution. And the peak of that is Dragapult. Not only is it a ghost dragon, it's a pseudo-legendary strong ghost dragon, but like, oh my god, does it get cooler than Dragapult? Actually, the only thing cooler than Dragapult is like 25 other Pokemon. But, come on guys. There's nothing, like we know that it shoots out Dreepy as missiles. That's one of the funniest and coolest things ever. But like, it's so smug. Look at that smug piece of garbage, dude. It honestly makes me a little upset that they know how much better they are than me. Look at those eyes. That looks like my cat's eyes. Such a sly fox. I love him. So I guess it's pretty cool. Absol XD. Come on. Look at this thing. It shoots out its children as weapons. But the children don't die because they're ghosts. They're already dead. Oh my god. And like a ghost dragon pseudo legendary is one of the coolest things ever. I think I also love just like how in the anime when it's like freaking flying through. It's incredible. It's actually incredible. The gaze, such a sly fox. Tyranitar is the reason Jesse and James separated from their Arbok and Weezing. That's a downside, Sty, I will be honest. But an upside about Tyranitar is that it's worse than Dragapult. Look at this thing! Dragapult gif. It's just so smug. It's just look at him. Look at him. He's like, I know what you did. And I'll never tell anybody except you, Dragapult. Look at this guy. Get a load of this guy. Get a load of that guy. Alright. Guys. We have made it to the top 25. Woo! 2 hours and 30 minutes. Gone by. Just talking about the Pokemon that I love most. But this is why we're here. This is why we're here. To talk about the best Pokemon to ever exist in the Pokemon franchise. Are you ready? Because number 25 may shock you. But if you know JARV, you know that he loves two things on Pokemon. Guarantee. JARV loves mustaches on Pokemon. And JARV loves hats. Murkrow is the definition of cool. Okay? It's I don't even know what to say about this thing. The hat, the smug nature. I love the smug attitude of it. But it's like, Murkrow! And it's like, see, it's not as smug as Dragapult. Okay? But the personality that they could put in such a bird with a hat, and I love that they evolved it into Honchkrow. Honchkrow's on this list, but it's not as high as Murkrow. Why? Because this thing has all the personality. Okay? This thing is the definition of a crony. Okay? This thing will be the rat in a mafia circle. And honestly, I love that for them. Okay? I just got lost in their eyes. I just got lost in their eyes. That's how much I love Murkrow. I love the fact I hated it playing against it when I did play early Scarlet and Violet Wi-Fi battling. How annoying this thing was to battle. But oh my god. Outside of that, I would 1000% have Murkrow as a friend. They would be my best friend. They would stab me in the back, but until that happened, they would be my best friend. I love this bird, dude. I love this bird so much. And it's the Darkness Pokemon. Alright. At number 24. You know them. You love them. This was one of the things that I loved most about Pokemon growing up. Get a load of this guy. Dragonite. I don't even really need to say much. We all know what Dragonite stands for. We all know what they are, okay? And they are fantastic. They are everything. They are anything that everybody's not, okay? If you don't like Dragonite, figure it out. They're chubby. Number one, they're chubby. Automatically love it. Automatically love it because they do not have a body image to uphold, alright? They are the first pseudo-legendary. The first one. I remember playing Pokemon Fire Red and being like, this Dratini? I don't know how I caught this Dratini, but what if I get it to a Dragonite? And then I got to a Dragonite, and it changed from Dragonair, and I love the Dragonair design, okay? But then it turned into Dragonite, and I'm like, how did that become that, but still have everything? Okay? It makes no sense that Dragonair evolves into Dragonite. Okay? Maybe it does lore-wise, but it doesn't. And I don't care. Look at it. Ash's Dragonite wasn't that cool. Agreed. But you know what is cool? Dragonite. Dragonite. Also, this isn't really that big of a factor when I'm picking these Pokemon. But there's a Pokedex entry about Dragonite. It can circle the globe in just 16 hours. It perfectly encapsulates Dragonite's personality because Dragonite could be the strongest Pokemon to ever exist. It can circle the globe in 16 hours. Do you know the speed that it contains, the durability, the endurance? But you know what they choose to do? They choose to be lovable first. They choose to be a lover and not a fighter. And if you need them to fight, fine. They'll fight for you. But they don't want to fight. They know that happiness is the first thing that everybody needs. And this thing is dope. Okay? They went back to Dragonair. They went back in the evolution line and made it a little more Dragonair. They gave it the circle on its tail. They gave it the wings on its head. They gave it all the whimsy that it wasn't missing. Keyword, wasn't. Because this thing had all the whimsy. But is it Earth? I don't know. I assume it's Earth when they say that. And just because it would feel wrong to not, this Dragonite card is hung up in my room. Right next to an OG Chubby Pikachu in a picture frame. I have this card. It is not in good condition though. But I looked at this card when I was younger and I'm like, you know what? I think I love you. I think I love you dearly. Look at this guy, dude. Come on. Dragonite. Thank you for everything, man. Yeah, they perfectly can balance angry and not angry. Where's the... I don't know why that popped up. But yeah. Look at this guy. Everything about it, he's dope. Dragonite, I love your personality. And that's why you are number 24. Hello again. Hello! Alright. On my break at work, you get to pop in for a little. Woo! Bober, I'm going to be honest, you were mentioned earlier in this list because you made me realize my love for Shuppet. Now, they are 91 on this list, but by God, Shuppet made the list. Because... Where's the one... What? Okay. So, at number 23, I've already mentioned the Nuzlocke that I played with my cousins a bunch. The Soul Link that we've been doing for 8 years. Still haven't won Pokemon Platinum. I've caught one Pokemon more than a lot, and every single time I grow so affectionate towards it. Okay? Everybody, I hope you realize how great Makuhita is. This thing is chubby. Again, you're going to realize the higher up we get, I love the chub. That sounded odd. I love the chubby Pokemon. They're rotund, they're goofy, they're funny. In a game full of dragons and monsters and evil beings, we get Makuhita. And this whole thing started with my brother wanting to buy me a card when he was in Singapore. He wanted to buy me a Pokemon card from Singapore. He was with my cousins. I already told the story at the beginning of the stream, but now we're later in the stream. There's a couple full art cards. There's like 15 full art cards, right? And there's only a couple selections that he wanted to buy. So my cousins texted me, JARV. Well, Joe. Do you like Pinsir? And just that thought, I was like, yeah, you know, I do like Pinsir. But I don't know if they're in my top 100. And then when I texted that, I'm like, you know what would be super fun? If I made my own top 100 Pokemon list. And that's how he became upon this. Later in that trip, because my cousins were on the trip, they bought me something. And, you know, JARV's not one for plushies. I only have a couple. But I have never seen a Pokemon plushie that's executed better than this thing. Look at it. It perfectly describes Makuhita in its form. Alright? It's so round. It actually is stunning. Look at him. And like, he's a good guy. He's never not smiling. And that's because that's how he looks. This guy is the peak of whimsy. And he knows that being happier is easier than being sad. Also, the Makuhita edit that I had, the Pokemon card review of Makuhita, again, one of my favorites that I've ever done. And that's because he has a lot of really good cards. This reminds me of the Mulan song, Let's Get Down to Business. Because it looks like that scene where they're jumping over the rocks. But in general, like, look at this guy. He's such a good Pokemon. And he's so happy all the time. And I just love Makuhita so much. I wish that I had more to say about Makuhita and why I love them. But I don't. He's peak male performance. And he's 700 burgers. I have a Makuhita named 700 burgers. And he's my background sometimes. Look. This is my phone background. 700 burgers. Because that guy could eat 700 burgers in a heartbeat if they really wanted to. Thank you for everything, Makuhita. At number 22. This one's going to be quick because it doesn't really need any explanation. Zapdos. Not only is the Galarian Zapdos very, very cool. Very, very cool. But Zapdos is just cool, man. Like, if anybody were ever say your favorite Pokemon Zapdos, I'm like, I like you. You know exactly what's up. They got Doritos for wings. They got a bunch of spikes and they're an electrical bird. Okay? When I started Pokemon Go, I obviously picked Team Instinct because, like, Zapdos is the best one. Out of the OG legendaries, it's the best. It's the best out of the OG legendaries. The design, flawless. The character, flawless. And it's just so cool. I really don't have anything more to say about Zapdos other than it's just cool, dude. Like, even this one. I love Galarian Zapdos so much. It became Roadrunner from Looney Tunes. And like, guys, you just look at Zapdos and it's kind of doing the same thing in all of these photos. Really, truly it is. But I love it. And his shiny Galarian Zapdos turns a regular Zapdos. Jeez. Jeez. Zapdos is so cool, and they're what Pokemon is supposed to be. Cool creatures. Is it based off of anything? Loosely. I mean, I guess it's a bird, but it's a Thunderbird. Every child growing up, Every child growing up thought Thunderbirds were the coolest thing ever. Is Thunderbird even a real thing? Probably not. I just learned something new. So, Zapdos. There you go. Thank you for being you. At number 21. The best fossil ever. And the highest fossil to be ranked. Kabutops. Now, a lot of Kabutops kind of goes off of that rare factor. When I was growing up, I got a Kabuto from the Fossil Maniac. And I'm like, yeah, it's cool. Let's see if it turns into anything cool and it evolves. And I'm like, wait, that's actually one of the coolest things ever. A crustaceous fossil with scythe hands? Yeah, I think that's pretty dope. Sorry, I'm the weird guy now, because I think crustaceans with scythe hands are dope. Maybe you're just a hater. And I know you're not, because I know you like Kabutops a little bit. If you don't like Kabutops, you're lying to yourself. It's just cool. That's all it is. It's just cool. Shining Kabutops, great Pokemon card. And, completely separate from me even liking it, Kabutops was the first video that I got over 1 million views. The random Pokemon card art review of Kabutops might be the only one too. Is the only video and the first video that I ever got over 1 million 1 million views. And I think that speaks to just how much I loved it. My passion for Kabutops came out in that video because I finally got a platform to talk about how cool Kabutops was. And maybe that's why it was one of the first ones that I ever loved. But it's also that rarity factor of you didn't know what you were getting in Generation 1. Like, I needed to get this weird Kabuto to level 40, and then, I mean, I guess it'll evolve. And then it's like, oh my god, it evolved. I'm like, what? What? Get a load of this guy. So yeah, Kabutops, you're amazing. And honestly, a lot of you might not even be here if it wasn't for Kabutops. Why am I messing up the name so much? Because that video, getting the push on Instagram that it did, might have brought you here. And by God, if you're here because of that, I love you for it. I absolutely love you for it. Alright. But unfortunately, you are not in the top 20. Because the first entry to the top 20 is our Lord and our Savior, Arceus? No. Absolutely not. It's Ambipom, but I can't find Ambipom. Ambipom. It's actually surprising that I have been just finding the other Pokemon so easily. Where are you, Ambipom? You should be right here. Ambipom. There you go. Ambipom is so cool because not only is Apom great, the first one I saw was Vigoroth, I think. That was the very first Pokemon card art review, so they knew right away that you would be rocking with that Blastoise. Lillipup, Herdier, and Stoutland, all top 10. Yeah, you got that right. How'd you know? Did my list leak? Ambipom goes back to those early days of me online battling with my cousin. Technician, Life Orb, Fake Out, Gunk Shot, Aerial Ace, Pursuit. There's nothing that made me feel cooler than predicting a Pursuit on a Switch Out in a Wi-Fi battle and killing with the Technician Life Orb boosted Ambipom, okay? And that really is where the love for Ambipom started, because I know it's kind of goofy looking, and it's not the best Pokemon, by any means. But the more that I look at it, and the more that I realize of how much I played Pokemon, that this thing is just a good Pokemon. Its design is alright. Its nature and, its whimsy is alright. But it's more than that. This guy brings me back to when life was simple. And I would go to middle school and get chocolate chip cookies from the hot cookie rack. That's where this guy brings me back to. Ambipom, you're great, man. And I hope you never ever change. Because you got so much going for you. And your outlook on life is fantastic. And that's not even why I originally first loved you. So Ambipom, I wanted you to be higher. But this is where you find yourself. At the top 20. Pretty good if you ask me. Number 19. Is objectively one of the coolest Pokemon ever designed. Mamoswine. I don't think I really need much explanation on this. It's a big woolly mammoth. And look at it. The color scheme. The blue around its eyes is so unbelievably cool. The tusks, and it's rotund. It's a Pokemon, but it's also so ferocious and dastardly. This thing will kill if it needs to. It doesn't want to, though. Keep in mind, it came from Swinub. And then it evolved from Piloswine. This thing has character and morals more than anybody could dream of. Okay? But it's Mamoswine. It's always been Mamoswine. It's strong. It's reliable. It's fun to use. Just great stats. And yeah. Mamoswine is definitely A tier. Hello, Kayla. How the heck are you? So Mamoswine, you make it hot in the top 20 at 19. At number 18, this might surprise. Because it surprised me. This might be my biggest surprise when making this whole list, okay? At number 18, keep in mind, before all of these Pokemon that I absolutely adore. At number 18, they're a tiny guy. But that doesn't take away from their character. Okay? They're a little tiny guy. And I wish I could find it faster so that I could get to talking about it. Salandit. Salandit, I love you. Now, my love for Salandit started when I caught a shiny Salandit. And I realized, oh wow, that might be one of the coolest things I've ever seen. The only downside about Salandit is that when it grows up, it becomes like curvy. And if you know anything about JARV, I hate when Pokemon get curvy because that only motivates people to get creepy with the Pokemon. But Salandit, on the other hand, is the perfect Pokemon. I would have a pet Salandit, a male one. I would have a pet Salandit and name them Big Texas. Okay? I would have Salandit because, I mean, who doesn't love like a little reptilian friend? Look at them. They're so well made. They're so cool. Poison fire type, so incredible, dude. Absolutely incredible. And like, come on. Those eyes. They got the cat eyes where it's like, oh my god, man. If I could talk about Salandit for hours, I seriously would. I haven't even looked at Salandit gifts in my life. But look at him. Look at how happy he looks when he's happy. Look at this guy. Look at that guy. All right, now look at this guy. All right, now look at that guy. Come on. You're telling me that they wouldn't like to be like pet on the head? They'd also crawl on your chest a bunch and just, they would perch like a cat. Salandit acts like a cat, and I think that's why I like them so much. I have a Salazzle, my current Nuzlocke, named Heather, and she saved my skin too many times, so I will not stand for Salazzle slander. Well, Kitchen, I respect that, because I also know you're not going to be creepy towards the Salazzle. Others, who knows? They could be great pets for sure. 1,000%, dude. And it was shocking how higher Salandit came into my top 20 than I ever imagined. At number 18, they find themselves. At number 17, if you know me, you know how much I love Ludicolo. This guy is just a goofball, dude. Just such a goofball. Circling back a little bit, Salandit and Zigzagoon are definitely friends, and that thought just makes me so happy, Melon. So thank you for that. But at number 17 is Ludicolo. Okay? 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 Give it a hat. No, that's not enough. Give it a buoyant personality. Still not enough. Make it dance constantly. Make it dance constantly. Oh my god. Oh my god, Ludicolo. You're schmoovin' like it's nobody's business. Ludicolo Sprite gift. Dude, like, look at him. Look at him! Look at him! Hey! 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 I don't need to explain why Ludicolo is great. Okay? I don't need to explain why Ludicolo is great. You should know. You should know these things by now. Ludicolo, thank you for being so great. They're constantly doing rain dance. And I name all my Ludicolo Boogeymen. Boogeyman, whichever one, because they boogie, man. You've never even seen Ludicolo before? I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry this had to be your first time. Because it's the best time. At number 16, the third highest legendary on this list. Ho-Oh. Now, there's something about Generation 2 that has always been really cool to me. It's because I went to the first game I played was Gen 3. Then I picked up my brother's Pokemon Gold on Game Boy Color, and I couldn't figure out how to save. Was I a dumb child? Absolutely. But there was something about that ever-intriguing Ho-Oh that I never obtained that always felt so legendary to me. And obviously from the Pokemon anime, one of the first couple episodes, the Ho-Oh flying at the end. Ho-Oh's the perfect legendary. Its design is incredible, alright? And that's not even a hot take. Because, look at it. It's actually so glorious. It's actually so glorious. It's flawless. And it's so magical. It's unreal. It's absolutely unreal. Green screen's freaking out a bit. I love Ho-Oh, dude. I love Ho-Oh so much. What if I did that? Ho-Oh is one of the coolest things to ever exist. It's Pokemon Gold, and also like look at the Ho-Oh Pokemon intro GIF. We all know the opening scene. This is everything. This single-handedly makes Ho-Oh so cool. Here, let me show the Tic Tackers. Look at that, dude. That alone makes me think that they're the coolest bird to ever fly. And I thank you dearly for existing, Ho-Oh. Alright. That's the third highest legendary. And guys, we have officially entered the top 15 of JARV's favorite Pokemon. The highest starter entry, and my favorite starter ever. Please, for the love of God, give it up for Sceptile. Now, maybe it's because when I originally picked Swampert, May picked Sceptile. And when I saw that fully evolved Gecko, that tail of shrubs looked so cool. And it's like a ninja lizard. I'm sure I'm not the first one or the last to ever explain to you how cool Sceptile is and how cool it can be. But look at them. They're smug like Trico, but laid back like Grovyle. It's got all of it. It's got all of it. It's the coolest starter. It's honestly perfect. If I had a starter, it would be Sceptile. Because not only do I get the Trico, Grovyle, whatever, but then I get to Sceptile. And Sceptile's so cool. This is not even mentioning Mega Sceptile, which is a great, fantastic design. But I think they just... It was a wood gecko, right? And they ended up making the gecko fit so well with the grass type. It grows a tree on its back. It has berries on its back. It's got leaf scythes, okay? I can't really explain to you why Sceptile is so cool other than its physical appearance. Honestly, in games, it's pretty bad. Its stats leave a lot to be desired. It's obviously really fast, but you can't really take advantage of the special attack until later generations with the physical special split. But that doesn't matter. Because Sceptile is my everything, even when my everything is nothing. Sceptile is there. Sceptile will be like, hey man, want a granola bar? And that's what I'm talking about. Melon just said check out Mirror being his Ludicolo, and honestly, Melon, that is also a large reason why the Ludicolo lore became so happy for me. He's just like, this guy has so much personality. This guy just boogies. This guy just boogies down all the time whenever they want it. Look at all of them. So much personality. Thank you, Melon. I needed to bring that up. The highest starter has been ranked. There will not be a starter higher than Sceptile. So if JARV ever had a starter in Pokemon, I would pick Sceptile every time. Number 14. One of the coolest Pokemon designs ever made, and the reason it's not higher is because I just don't have that much experience and knowledge and growth of it yet. Raging Bolt is incredible. Now, I know people hate it. I don't see why, though. I don't see why. It's Raikou, but borderline cooler, dude. It's the exact thing that they needed to do with the prehistoric Pokemon. Like, I don't know. It's just, its head is so above everything else that it casts its own, like, thundercloud, and then it's able to use that thundercloud. It's everything. Jar, I see that you not put Ludicolo on the top. I'm starting to restart everything. I'm no. Macho Brace, please. Please! Please, no! Please, no! It took me 2 minutes to figure out how to spell Coliseum. Just send that message. That's awesome, Melon. But guys, take a look at Raging Bull. Macho, look at Raging Bull. It's got the black and white that we know, that we have come to know and love. Alright? It's got the spikes that Lil JARV always thought was the dopest thing ever. But then it's got a head above the clouds. This thing's atmospheric. Okay? It doesn't play around. Bubba's Burrito, thank you for following. And thank you for being here at the same time as Raging Bolt, because it doesn't get better than that. It does not get better than that at all. They've done well with him. Absolutely. And it's easy to make him bad. Because, as you can see by its other counterparts, like, I think it's Gouging Flame. Like, you know, it's okay. And then Walking Wake is like, okay. We could do better. No, you can't do better than this. You cannot do better than this. Oh, it's a cloud. It is a cloud, Bubba's Burrito. Remember when people thought Entei's Paradox was going to be a pterodactyl? That would have been awesome. Gouging Fire is the spokesperson for Chiquita Banana. Honestly, yeah, it's the sticker. It's the sticker on all Chiquita Bananas. Guys, at number 13. This might be... Actually, no. This is the second latest entry as far as generations go. At level number 13. We have your grandfather. Grandfather? And what does that mean? Well, oh boy, I'll tell you what it means. Drampa, get the heck over here. This also comes before the love for Mega Drampa, which I have immense love for. Mega Drampa's dope. Don't get me wrong, it becomes like some pirate scallywag. Smeargle better be top 10 or I'll be taking you to Torture Town, consensually. Okay. Walking Wake is better. There's a lot going on. But there's not enough of Drampa. Okay? Like, Drampa is the peak Pokemon design. Because, oh, I like that they added the spoiler tab. Look at them. They're literally a grandfather dragon. And, if you go on their info, this is, see, I said earlier that, like, you know, the game data, stats, a lot of it is vibe and look of the Pokemon that makes me love them. But this fact right here, if a child it has made friends with is bullied, Drampa will find the bully's house and burn it to the ground. What? What? This guy's lethal. And you know what makes it even better? Is my only PSA 10 card that I have. The PSA 10 Drampa flying to... Oh, well, he's green, so it kind of... Look at them. On his back are the children that he's flying to their house, and they're gonna murder. Burn down their house. Murder's a little bit of a stretch. He looks like an old hippie. He looks like a grandfather that actually loves me. He looks like Everything that I've ever wanted in a Pokemon. Perfect amount of dumb, perfect amount of power. And when it attacks, its eyebrows flare up, and it has beady white eyes, and it's just everything. It's just everything for sure. And he's a Deadhead for sure. That's a great point, Pierogi. That's a beautiful card. Yeah, this is the coolest card I have easily. If Jirachi ain't the Pokemon you want to have, I don't know what is. That's a great point, actually. It's the eyebrows, it's the drop of eyebrows that I love more than anything. Yeah, dude. Look at those. Eyebrows did. Mega Droppa is funny. The idea is that the Mega makes it younger, hence the black hair. That makes it even better! Sorry for anybody. Don't look for this next 3 seconds if you don't want to see it. That's so funny. That it gets younger. That's amazing. Great card, JARV. And my Droppa card art review is also one of my favorite card art reviews to ever be done. Just personally from an editing perspective. Just funny goofs and gaffs in there. So that did actually, that was one of the few times where that did rise it up in value in this list. Number 12. Shout out my cousin Rick because they hate this Pokemon. And I don't know why they hate this Pokemon. I don't know who could ever hate this Pokemon when a Pokemon looks so cool. Cradily. And I lied to you guys by saying that Kabutops was the highest fossil because it's actually Cradily. I love the fact that you look at it and its eyes aren't its eyes. That is so cool to me. Not only is the color scheme great, another part of it, unfortunately, is the fact that not a lot of people like it, and the contrarian in me just wants to love it. Here's the drop card one more time. Pretty dope. Giratina getting slept on. Holy smokes. Giratina was down here. I'm sorry about that. Cradily, though. I love that those eyes are its fake eyes, and its real eyes are the yellow things in its mouth. It's a great Pokemon design. And honestly, I can't really explain other than that why I love it so much. I've just always loved getting a Cradily and a Nuzlocke or such and then using it because it's got great base stats. Especially in the Nuzlocks I do, it's usually randomized. I can probably throw a couple decent TMs on there to take advantage of its good stats. Good stats. Borderline great stats, honestly. It's just well-rounded and fantastic. It's amazing. Cradily, I love you, and I wish I had more to say about you, honestly. I love your wiggly little barnacles. I love them. Many people hate them, but not I. I love them. Can we get a rundown on the list for the Latecomers pre-top 10 reveal? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Just got here. Where's Bulbasaur? Chicken George? Hate to say, Bulbasaur didn't make it. But what did make it was Ivysaur. Ivysaur came in hot at level 94. So let me just run through the names by Pokemon, and then I'll kind of give a note for each one that really stands out. Celio actually got replaced live with Cloyster. Cloyster is now 101st my favorite Pokemon, but Celio I realized after putting in Spheal how much I love Celio, and the reason I love Spheal is because it also evolves into Celio, so I needed to put Celio on there, and it's got a fat mustache. Got Ursaring, Turtonator, Scrafty, Mega Scrafty surely helped. Garchomp, Cubchoo, Ivysaur, Imptip, Noivern, Shuppet, shout out Bumbly Bean. Basculegion, Gigalith, Aerodactyl, Lechonk, better than Bidoof. Sorry, had to say it. This is blasphemy. It's all blasphemy. Deoxys, Aurorus, Pignite was top 3 most surprised that I loved before I even knew that I loved them properly. Pignite was not supposed to be on this list, and then I realized when I went through all the Pokemon, oh my god. I think I love Pignite. Zekrom, Licky Licky, strictly because of Mr. Mare. Keep that in mind, that's the only one that's strictly in here because of the Nuzlocke on this channel. I've never loved a Pokemon more than Mr. Mare. Honestly. Mr. Mare the Licky Licky, God, you were so funny to have. Then you got Squirtle, Rhyperior, Lunala, Chien-Pao, Toxtricity, and Scovillain. Now, that was the Pokemon that I don't really love as far as Pokemon. This top 75, I can confidently say that I adore all these Pokemon. From Quagsire to Trubbish, Lotad, Barboach, Electabuzz, Piloswine bangs, Sirfetch'd, Rayquaza, Golbat, shout out my first shiny ever, Joey Golbat. I love you, Joey Golbat. Then you got Gulpin, Small Thud, Umbreon, Trapinch, Typhlosion, Archops. They would be higher if their stats didn't suck. Flygon, Poliwhirl, the most Pokemon. Trico, the starter I would pick. Honchkrow, Togepi, and Hydreigon. Then we move up. We got Reshiram, Gudra, Monferno, Blissey, Bagon. Bagon's number 51, strictly because of their hair. Now, the top 50, it started with Zigzagoon and went to Coughing to Cyndaquil to Sudowoodo. Shout out Convict to Sudowoodo. To Dragonair, Dunsparce. Not even Dunsparce, that's Dunsparce. I love Dunsparce. Hater? Maybe. You could be a hater if you want. Me, personally, absolutely not. Nosepass, Giratina, Gengar, Swampert. I was able to finally get my love for Gengar off of my chest that I've been holding in for years. So that felt good. Then you move up, you get Croconaw. Meganium, Herb, strictly because of JARV and what they've done for me in this channel. God, I love Herb. And Meganium's just so cool. How do you not like a dinosaur with... Come on. Then you got Crobat, Spheal, Appleton, Ampharos. My highest surprise on this list has been Spupa. I was even accused of rage baiting with Spupa. I don't know why I love Spupa, but by God, I love Spupa. And I can confidently say that I love Spupa more than Giratina. More than I love Ampharos. More than I love Appleton. And that's kind of how I did this list, is I would rank the Pokemon, and then I would say, if this Pokemon didn't exist, would I be more sad than this? And if Spupa didn't exist, I'd be more sad that Spupa didn't exist than Ampharos. Even with Mega Ampharos in existence. Porygon Z, Ditto, Blastoise, Altaria, Slowpoke, pretty low. But that's because of how much Pokemon I love more than Slowpoke. I adore Slowpoke, they would be my pet. But they're number 28. Tyranitar, Dragapult. Then, you get to the top 25. The Pokemon that I would die for. Not actually, but maybe. Murkrow, Dragonite, Makuhita. Look at how perfect this plushie is, dude. Look how perfectly rotund he is. Come on. 700 burgers. They could eat 700 burgers in one sitting. Zapdos, Kabutops, Ambipom, Mamoswine, Salandit, the last final one that actually surprised me making it this high. Ludicolo, Ho-Oh, Sceptile, Raging Bolt, Drampa, and Cradily. Now. We're not even at the top 10 yet. We still got 2 more entries. At number 12. At number 11. A Pokemon that I don't know much about, and I hope one day that I can learn much more about when I actually use it. I don't need to know much about Hydrapple to know that it is one of the coolest Pokemon ever. Ever to exist. It's a Hydra Dragon apple. Okay? And when it attacks, its fellas come out of the side. Okay? I can't wait till I get the opportunity to properly use a Hydrapple in a Pokemon game. And when that day comes, I guarantee that it'll probably move up the list. But like, look at that, dude. All of them coming out to attack is actually incredible. That's amazing. And like, yeah, I don't really have much more to say about it. I love the idea. I love Applin and the whole line. But there's something about Hydrapple and just the Hydra heads coming out of an apple that is actually so cool. And while we're here, the design is just incredible, dude. Like, come on. That's so cool. That's actually so cool. Alright. At number 10. We are officially made it to the top 10. And at number 10, with great pride in my heart, and you guys might not have known this, but you could assume it. Say hello to the one, the absolute only, another Johto entry. Slowking. Now, I love Slowking because who doesn't love Slowking? But the idea that Slowpoke is so dumb that some of them turn into Slowbro because they're also dumb and they get their tail bitten. But the ones that become smart turn into Slowking because they're able to make it to the King's Rock. And they're able to touch it and they're able to evolve. The lore within the Slowpoke line is just so freaking fantastic, okay? Not only that, but Slowking has my favorite Pokemon card ever, which I do own. I hope it shows up on here. My favorite Pokemon card ever. Through making the videos that I've made, is Slowking, Dark Slowking, no doubt. This guy is such an evil, conniving piece of work, man. Okay? You would think that they're, because they're Slowking, you know, they're passive of Slowpoke and they're brethren of Slowbro, that they would have good intentions. Not this guy, dude. Not this guy. Okay? It's just so smart. And it's just, it's everything. It's everything that I can't be, unfortunately. And also this, during my short time of playing the Pokemon TCG game, this move, Concoction right here, or no, Word of Ruin, absolutely busted move. Galarian Slowking is just, it's less cool than Slowking, but it is very, very cool. I really like the idea of it. I literally got Light's Thrower like 2 weeks back. Dude. Yeah. That's also great. We know where Slowbro's going in, though. So, Slowking, thank you for being you. And I'm so glad to have you in this top 10. I just love that something so stupid like a Slowpoke could become so objectively smart like a Slowking. It is a beautiful arc, okay? And it's exactly what we need in this dark, cruel, decrepit world. At number 9, the highest legendary to rank. You know them. You undoubtedly love them. It's Raikou, dude. Who doesn't love Raikou? It's the coolest, one of the coolest Pokemon designs ever. A Thundercat? Thunderdog? Whatever it is, look at it. It's got saber-toothed tiger teeth. Alright? Now I'm learning. Is that... Are those clouds as well? Are those thunder clouds as well? That only makes me think they're thunder clouds because Raging Bolt has them around their neck. But come on. Spiky. Black and white. Black and yellow. You know how much I love that. Okay? The tail... The lore, everything about it. The roaming legendaries are so cool. Annoying to catch, but so cool. I would purposely pick, when I would replay Fire Red, I would purposely pick the proper starter to get me Raikou. I kind of forgot what it was, honestly. But I would I think it was Bulbasaur? I don't know. I would purposely pick the one that gave me Raikou as the roaming legendary because, oh my god, it's so cool. It's actually so cool. And the stats are amazing, obviously. It's a legendary, but it's the design. It's like the definition of a legendary Pokemon. It's like a superhero. With saber-toothed tiger teeth. I don't really have much to say about Raikou because it's incredible. I will say, though, that Raikou has one of my top 3 favorite Pokemon cards ever, which I also purchased at a card show like a year ago. This one. Shows all the cool parts about Raikou. And I love it. I absolutely love it. At number 8. I realized doing this list how much I truly do love electric type Pokemon. Because they're cool. But none cooler. Actually, one cooler. The second coolest electric type ever. Where are you? Heliolisk. I think I love Heliolisk so much because I love the original animal that it's based off of. Okay? That animal is so cool. The iguana that just, when it gets angry, it frills out its neck. So intimidating, and that thing was made to be a Pokemon. Okay? But Heliolisk would be your best friend. With very little hard work. Okay? See, look how cool they look now. The perfect color scheme. The perfect orange used in them. And that's without their neck flare. If you look up Heliolisk when attacking, I'm sure you guys know. But their neck flares out. Their neck flares out, dude. And it gets all the power and shoots it out. It's so cool. It's so cool, and that alone, right when I saw it attack the first time I played X and Y, I'm like, this thing might be one of my favorite Pokemon ever. And it is. It is. It is my 8th favorite Pokemon ever. And I'm so glad that I can do this list, because now if I ever see a Heliolisk, I can be like, that's my 8th favorite Pokemon ever. Helioptile, fantastic too. But Heliolisk, that's where it's at. Number 7. A deep adoration for this Pokemon. Through my Wi-Fi battling, and through my early days of playing Ruby and Sapphire. I didn't know what Skarmory was. I didn't even know it was a Gen 2 Pokemon. But when I learned about Skarmory, and when I saw it for that very first time, it all made sense. Life made sense. It's so cool. A steel bird with sharp talons, metal talons as wings. It doesn't get better than that. It's Armorabs, dude. Does it help that I named it Armorabs? Of course. Because now whenever I see this thing, I think of Armorabs crabs. I love SpongeBob. It's just a great thing. This is all without saying how great Mega Skarmory is. Skarmory is incredible. Don't get me wrong. But when I found out about Mega Skarmory, I actually was the happiest camper ever. It's one of the coolest Mega designs ever. I don't know why they made it yellow, though. I don't know why. But Skarmory itself, I would give this thing Skydrop. I would give... No. I would give this thing Fly, Stealth Rock, Toxic, and Tailwind. Talk about annoying to battle. But talk about an absolute joy to use. It's one of the coolest Pokemon ever. Even its bad sprites that it had in the beginning. Like, even this Gen 3 sprite, where it's kind of just like, what are we even looking at here? What are we even looking at here? Why is its eye so beady? Even when I was a kid, the first time I saw it, I'm like, that sprite doesn't really look that cool, but I know how cool that Pokemon was. So there you go. Skarmory, welcome to the list, and I'm so glad you're here. You have been in my life for so long, and I'm so glad that you finally are getting the love you deserve. Thank you for everything, Skarmory. Armorabs, I'll never forget you. Well, how could I forget you when you're on the forefront of my mind? Now, I kind of lied a little bit. I said that Herb was the highest ranked Pokemon because of these JARV Nuzlocks. And that was a lie. Because it wasn't until I met Big Thud that I learned how much I loved Swalot. What does JARV love on his Pokemon? Hats? Mustache. Talk about a mustache on this piece of work, okay? Naming them Big Thud surely helped me love them a bunch because they are just a big thud. They're bulby. They're bulbous as they come. They're stupid as they look. And they're wearing an Argyle sweater. Okay? I love it. I adore it. I wouldn't have Swalot in real life because it's just a poisonous amalgamation of a bag. But by God, I would love being around them. They're a great dinner party host. They're so funny looking. And I just love everything about them, really. I know that Swalot might not deserve to be this high on anybody's list, but it deserves to be this high on my list. Right outside the top 5, I told myself, if Skarmory didn't exist, or if Swalot didn't exist, what would I be more upset about? And I was shocked to realize that it was Swalot. Even my whole life of loving Skarmory, meeting Big Thud, and falling in love with his Argyle sweater and mustache, I've been a changed man ever since. And I love it here. Now, we're finally at the top 5. The top 5 are the 5 Pokemon of my favorite reside. And at number 5, it is with great honor, nay, privilege, well, now I'm thinking hard. A little bit of an edit. 4's going to 5 and 5's going to 4. Okay? Porygon 2. You are one of the coolest Pokemon ever created. Not only can you utilize the Eviolite to the utmost perfection, where are you? Oh, Porygon 2! Porygon 2, Porygon 2, Porygon 2, Porygon 2, Porygon 2. Hello. Hello. Not only can you utilize the Eviolite to absolute perfection, but you look so good. that color scheme is perfect. The fact, look at that color scheme. It's Sprite in Gen 6 where it's going. It's one of the coolest things ever. Guys, look at them. It took me a while to realize that they are a rubber ducky. And a rubby ducky they are. But you know what they're not? Is overdone. Overplayed. They are the perfect Pokemon as far as the Pokemon landscape goes. If you bring up Porygon 2, a lot of people are going to be like, cool Pokemon. No one's going to be like, that Pokemon sucks. It's bulbous. You know I freaking love bulbous things, dude. And it's Porygon. It's Porygon 2. Using Tri-Attack with this thing makes you feel like $1,000,000. Using Recover with this thing makes you feel invincible. And Porygon 2, I just want you to know, you're my 5th favorite Pokemon ever to exist. So thank you. Thank you. Now, at number 4, and the highest electric type to be entered on this list. You know them. You might also love them. Their name is Electros. Now, Electric Eel is cool on premise, but it's even better in practice, okay? I thought this thing was so cool being like the 2nd or 3rd Pokemon ever to not have a weakness because of its ability Levitate. It's an electric eel. It gives me that electric feel, okay? And, man, putting a choice specs on this thing during my Wi-Fi battling, I would give it Flamethrower, Thunderbolt, Volt Switch, and Giga Drain. Coverage. Love. Adoration. That's your least favorite Pokemon? That's absurd. This thing is so cool, okay? I love the way it moves. I love the way it walks. And in Legend ZA, the way it waddles on its feet, it makes a grown man cry, okay? And the way it wiggles in the air in Gen 6, I hated it. Until I saw it over and over and over again. And I'm like, you are an eel. You're an electric eel. Why wouldn't you do that? It also made it so cool that Getsus sported an Electros. It made me think of how freaking strong it was. Like, if Getsus is using this thing's gotta have the utmost power in its arsenal. Truly. Truly, seriously. That's why you're number 4. I love you so much, Electros. And you are one of the coolest Pokemon to ever exist. But you're not better than these 3. The top 3. My 3 favorite Pokemon ever to exist ever. To exist ever. My 3 favorite Pokemon to ever exist ever. My 3 favorite Pokemon. My 3 favorite Pokemon to ever exist maybe ever. Okay? My 3 favorite Pokemon. We're going to start at number 3. It's with a heavy heart that you recently got demoted from number 2. But that's only because of who number 2 is now. But number 3, again, and not the last, of my Johto friends, Scizor. Scizor, you're one of the coolest Pokemon to ever exist. Not only is Scyther perfect, but then they made it even better. They put a steel coat around you, and they made you stronger than you could ever imagine. Okay? You're buff and stuff, and that's why I love you. This one goes farther than design, okay? It goes by premise. Have you ever used a bad Scizor? And I'm not talking about this. I'm talking about this. Look at it. It honestly, it's like the Power Ranger of Pokemon. This thing could easily be in the Power Rangers if it needed to be. If they needed them, they would come. Build it and they will come. That's what Scizor stands for. Look at everything about it. And you know what? Its wings still work. Loses the flying type, its wings still work. I think what made this so cool to me as a kid is not only that bright red design completely changing from the light green of Scizor, or Scyther, but it's hard to obtain. Not everybody can get a Scizor. You need a trade. You need a metal coat. You need a lot of things in your arsenal to figure out how to just get this thing. Okay? And I love you, Scizor. The perfect design, sleek. I never thought I liked bug types until I saw Scizor and Spupa. But that's neither here nor there. You need friends. And Scizor makes you go out and make friends. Scizor is bigger than us. It's bigger than us. Now at number 2. Also, going back to what Macho Brace said, the MGMT of Pokemon, underrated, flawless at times, and definitely feeling electric. That is the perfect explanation of Electros, and I kind of wish I said that first. Guys, now this might be the most surprising entry on this list, because we know what my number 1 is. But my number 2, if I could have any Pokemon as a pet, if I could replicate the personality of any Pokemon, if I could be in the presence of this thing, I would be. At every living, breathing moment. At number 2, my second favorite Pokemon ever. Gligar. Gligar represents everything that I stand for. Having a good attitude, or at least trying to. And it can get stronger through time, if you want it to. This thing loves love. It loves happiness. It loves just being a good old gaff ball. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Look at him. I love this guy. Okay? I don't know what else to say. He's everybody's friends. I just want him in my life. I don't even know what he really is. He's a fly scorpion. Okay. He can hold the Eviolite, I can tell you that much. He can come to my dinner party. I'd invite him first. This thing makes me happy every time I look at it. How can it not? Truly, how can it not? They have great cards. Their personality is evident in every single iteration of them. Determined. Maybe a little scared. But most of all, they're here for a good time. They love life. And Gligar now has to deal with being my second favorite Pokemon ever. You are such a goofball. You are such a doofus. And I love you so much. And while I love you for being a goofball, and I love you for being a doofus, you are not one Pokemon. You are not the one Pokemon. You are not a buffoon. Here's your buffoon. Look at him. Love him. Adore him. If you know anything about JARV, you know that my favorite Pokemon ever to ever exist is Slowbro. Slowbro is the perfect, absolute perfect Pokemon to ever exist. Okay? It's the perfect balance of moronic and actually strong. It is actually so good in battle when you use it. It's the perfect Pokemon. Okay? If you were to show anybody Slowbro, they would be like, yeah, it's a Pokemon, and that's what matters. It represents so much. They look stupid. They look like a buffoon. That's their whole point. They're supposed to look stupid. They're supposed to be dumb. But you know what they aren't? Is stupid or dumb. Look how strong they are. Look at that special attack. They are undoubtedly smart. Their relatives is Slowking. They're also smart. It's in their genes. It's in their pool. They don't care that somebody is trying to ruin their day constantly. Look at this guy. Look at this piece of work. He's trying to ruin Slowbro's mood. Does Slowbro care? Absolutely not. Slowbro has never cared about what anybody says, especially the Shelter that's eating its tail. Okay? Not only does it evolve from Slowpoke, the stupidest Pokemon ever, but it evolves into a bigger, stupider Pokemon. A buffoon. A real-life idiot. But it's not. It is not an idiot. It is perfect. It is strong. It is smart. It is loyal. It's pink. That doesn't really matter to me, though. It's beautiful. There's nothing that I love more than using a Calm Mind Slowbro with Slack Off. Oh my god. You relax. You calm your mind. Everybody needs a deep breath sometimes. Slowbro has the perfect attitude. They are never upset. They are never angry. They are never sad. They're always Slowbro. They are always :D. They are always :D. And that is really hard to find in a world full of hatred and sadness nowadays. If it were up to me, everybody would love Slowbro for exactly what they are. Okay? You can't get better than this thing. And if you tried, you couldn't. And honestly, this is good too. It's goofy. It starts to embrace the negativity around its life and still try to have a positive attitude about it. This thing I don't really care for, honestly. It's cool though. But guys, come on. Slowbro is the most perfect Pokemon to ever exist. I don't really care what anybody says. It's actually the best thing to ever exist. For all the reasons I just mentioned. You want to make Slowbro feel bad, it won't work. It just won't work. And guys, that is the top 100 Pokemon of JARV. And I am so confident in this list, especially with the little additions, edits that I made throughout the list. You know, I originally had Porygon at number 3. But no. Porygon's number 5, because I love these ones more. I originally had Cloyster, but no. I love Celio. Go Slowbro, and go Bears. And thank you guys all so much for joining me on this journey. This has been so much fun. I loved doing this. I implore everybody to go and rank their top 100 Pokemon. It is a great thing to do. It is very fun. And it honestly, it helps you realize what you like in Pokemon. There's a lot of times where I'm like, I love that Pokemon. But I don't really. Like, I love Volcarona, but do I? Do I really? Because I love all these Pokemon more than Volcarona. I really like Pikachu. I really like Gloom. But it's not on my top 100. 7 out of 10 list? That's fine. This is a 10 out of 10 list to me. Post your list in the Discord to get a healthy Discord going. Absolutely. And I love looking at other people's top 100 Pokemon because it's so fun. You learn a lot about people. What can you learn about me? I like dumb Pokemon, but then are also kind of strong. Like, look, stupid, 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 stupid. Spiky, spiky, spiky. Kind of spiky. Love your list, even when I don't agree. Thank you. Thank you. Also, haven't had you on my feed in a while, so I'm glad we're back. Thank you for being here, everybody. And guys, Snorlax is so much like Swirler. How is he not here? Because he's always there. So, everybody loves Snorlax. And Snorlax doesn't have... He's just lazy. And I love that for him. He's happy. Don't get me wrong. Have a great week at work and see you in the next one. Yeah, I will also see you guys in the next stream. Thank you all so much for being here. Don't get me wrong, though. I love Snorlax. He was one of the first 10 cut out. He's probably like 108, I would say. But guys, thank you for being here. We are so close to 10,000 subscribers on YouTube. That last Toad School Pokemon card art review that I did, it's going to end up being my third most viewed short on YouTube, which is shocking. I did not at all know that. You should react in a later stream to other people's top 100 in your Discord. That That's a great idea, honestly. Need an opinion on Smeargle? Smeargle's great. But do I love them? Clearly not. Clearly not, I don't love them. Smeargle's really good, though, because it can be whatever it wants to be, you know? Even when people hate them for being what they want to be, they'll still be who they want to be. You can try to ban them. It won't work. It won't work. Smeargle's also a great artist. They love working at their craft. So I love that for them. But guys, thank you all so much for being here. I had a great time. And this was a very fun project to do. Again, I would list your 100 favorite Pokemon just so you guys get a feel for what's going on with your top 100. It's very fun to do. And like, look, I'm now able to know exactly how much I love Licky Licky. It's beautiful. It's all beautiful. And this is a perfect list. To me. Because it's my list. Guys, I'm pitting on Deerling Temple Forces card. Is that the full art? Yeah, no, this is one of the best Pokemon cards ever. Objectively. Smeargle has good Among Us theory vibes. Enjoyed this, brother. Exactly, Macho Brace. Nice to discover you. I'm definitely going to keep tuning in. Let's go! I'm glad this is how you discovered me. Guys, thank you for being here. Thank you for being you, and have a wonderful Sunday. Love you all for being here. I owe you guys the world. I wish I could give you all just one big hug. I can't. I could try, though. But seriously, this is only fun because you guys are here. And I thank you guys greatly for being here. I will see you in the next stream, and the next stream is where I see you. So, I'll leave you guys with this. Always, always remember,